Welcome. Let's grab our seats. And if anybody's still outside eating and grabbing some tea, just employ them to come inside now as we begin this amazing session. The NIIRIC second annual convening. Who is excited? Yeah? We excited? Let's put our hands together. It's been a very fascinating work that NIIRIC has been doing. Interesting enough, before I joined the organization, I was part of one of the training where they did the research to commercialization. And I learned a lot about IP, trademark. And if you're a startup founder or you run an organization or you have a unique idea that you've not thought about trademarking, NIIRIC has continuously done some fascinating work in relation to that. So let's just give them another round of applause, please. So I'll officially just welcome everyone, each and every one of you, to this session. There's some amazing people in the room that I would like to give a shout out to and just appreciate seeing you all in the room, first of all. And as I call their names, please put your hands together, because these are awesome people that make these things happen, that keep us standing strong. And we always need leaders. It's one of the things I always say. We always need leaders. And first of all is our CEO, Lady Etamore Glover. Let's put our hands together for her. I know also in the room, we have Miss Anna Amayo Irivwe. She's representing the Honorable Minister, Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science, and Technology. Let's put our hands together. I see you here. She's looking lovely. I'm loving that brogue. Amazing. And also we have Professor Umar Bindia, former DG NOTAP. He's representing the Ministry of Education and Chairman Research and Innovation Commercialization Committee. Let's put our hands together. He looks so lovely. I saw him earlier and I thought, I've just picked up a new fashion sense. Next time you see me, I'll be wearing that hat with a scarf on it. Don't play. He's looking amazing. I was having a fascinating conversation with this lady earlier about the technology that comes into the country, and they record that. I didn't even know there was a ministry that does that. Record all the international technology that comes into the country. Her name is Miss Ada Mokolo Oladunke. She's Director, Technology, Innovation, and Commercialization, and she's representing the DG here today. It's good to have you, ma'am. I can see someone just walked into the room. I was skipping your name, but you're here. Awesome. Mr. Simon Field, Deputy Head of Mission, British Deputy High Commission. And it says you're accompanied by Miss Chisom, but I don't see her. So, is she here? She's running late. Okay, she's still on her way. It's good to have you, sir. It's good to have you. Also, Mr. Mohammed Yaro, Director, Investment Promotion and Consultancy, representing also the DG. It's good to have you, sir. Good to have you. I think I need to start looking into my outfit. I wear a lot of suits. I need to start wearing agbadas and, so that I look very traditional. These men are already fascinating me already. Also, we have here Dr. Adewumi. Is she here? Yes, she's here. I saw her earlier. Yes. Dr. Adewumi Olayinka. She's Director, Innovation and Technology Management Office at the University of Lagos, member of the NIIRIC Steering Committee. I remember seeing her on a panel discussion, and she spoke powerfully about the University of Lagos. It's good to have you, ma'am. Always good to see you. Also, we have Mr. T.F. Okunjagu, Member Research and Innovation. He's part of NIIRIC and former Director General, Nigerian Natural Medicine Development Agency. Is he here? He's not here. He's around. He's outside. Okay. Let's put our hands together for him. He will receive it outside there and even feel it when it comes into the room. Awesome. Who else am I missing? Let's see. Dr. Sonny Michael Amieze, Director, Research and Policy Advocacy, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Are they here? No? Okay, they're still coming. All right. Am I missing anybody? I really have to say hello to everyone. Mrs. Habiba Ali, Managing Director and CEO of Social Renewable Energies, and she's also the member of the National Advisory Board of Impact. We love her so much. Please put her hands together for her. We love all our NABI members. Literally, they mean a lot to us. They're like the pillar that we stand on. And I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us to celebrate the NIIRIC annual convening and our closing off ceremony for the year. Everybody's looking gorgeous. So please put your hands together for yourselves. Amazing. And with no further ado, with no further remarks, I would like to welcome and introduce my number one most amazing lady. Guys, I literally watch her from now on to learn how to speak. When she's speaking, you can see passion, emotions, and leadership when she's talking. There's always something powerful about what she's giving. And I'm learning from her so that I can be able to, just convey message even as she does. Let's put our hands together for my CEO, Etemore Glover of Impact Investor Foundation. Always good to have you, man. Please keep clapping until she gets here.
Thank you very much, Samuel. I don't like it when you raise the bar too high. There's an expectation, please ignore what he said. So, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to stand on the already established protocols. And if you are not mentioned, please, you are all important. You are our guests tonight. Tonight is about three things. First, we want to look back to the 1 year that NIIRIC was established. 1 year feels like 10 years. We've done so much as an organization and as a collaborative. When we established the NIIRIC, we wanted a pathway for research and innovation commercialization in Nigeria. We only had this idea, and we sold this idea to the community, and you all bought that idea. From just a low number of institutions, academia, industry, players that came together. Today, we have over 100 collaborative members. So please, a round of applause for yourselves. Thank you. So firstly, tonight is about reflecting on where we've come from and our milestone achievements. Secondly, we will present that to you. Talk about it. Chart our path forward for what next we need to do. And one thing we are not quite good at doing is celebrating, milestones. There's still a lot to be done. But tonight we're going to pause and celebrate our small wins. So, to reflect, chart our way forward, and also to celebrate. And one of the milestone achievements I just want to bring out of the number of things we've done is the NIIRIC is now part of the national voice, represented in the Research Innovation Commercialization Committee set up by the Ministry of Education and TED Fund to chart a national pathway for research and innovation commercialization. It is really important for this administration to ensure that we as a country move from just being an extractive economy to a knowledge and innovation-based economy. The pathway is research and innovation commercialization. So your voice as a community is represented nationally. So I think you've done well. A round of applause to yourself. I think when Professor Bindir comes up on stage, he'll talk about that vision and how you have contributed to that. Also, tonight, we will be launching the Research and Industry Brief, our toolkit to help us, strengthen research and innovation commercialization in Nigeria. And while I was talking to some members of the collaborative, it's clear that this is not just where it's going to stop. We will put this, you use AI and technology to help us socialize it. The pilot must be intentional to get TTOs across Nigeria to use it, track it. A research recently done was quite alarming for me, and why research to commercialization pathway hasn't been strengthened in Nigeria is the valley of death. We are not able to move from the early stage of research to where it informs the market and transform innovations and transform research into outputs that can be used by the market. So we need tools like this to help us. So that's the future. And that's where NIIRIC comes into play. That's where you come into play to help us move from just talking to actually being part of the transformation of Nigeria. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is not about talking. It's about reflecting also as well as celebrating. So I want to say again on behalf of the board of the Impact Investors Foundation and the National Advisory Board for Impact Investment, I want to welcome each and every one of you to the second NIIRIC Annual Convening. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Amazing. I told you I'm very inspired, and when I hear her speak, and one of the things I've caught today is now that we're even going national with how we're doing research in Nigeria. And it's a funny story about research, even personally, where I thought to myself that I eventually have to do research at some point in life, right? But then I knew that I didn't want to do research in the UK or the US, even though I grew up there, because they always, I remember doing a study in university, and this is an interesting, very real story. I studied economics, and I wrote about the limitation of African youth in Africa's economic development. And my lecturers told me they couldn't mark me because they didn't have any real documentation of what I wrote about, even though I was using a theory that was from them. The Kalman's filters theory, if you know what that theory is about, it's about climate action. So I decided I must write my research here. But it's so good to see that I'm now working in an organization focused on how do we convert research into commercialization. And it's a good thing that we're celebrating such interesting times, and more to come from us at IIF. Thank you so much, CEO, for just sharing that with us and just launching us into this convening. Secondly, I'll just welcome our amazing part of NIIRIC. Like I said, I always love her when she speaks, especially in panel discussions. To give another remark about the missions and the milestone we've seen so far, let's put our hands together for Dr. Adewumi Olayinka, Director, Innovation and Technology Management Office at the University of Lagos. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Good evening, dear distinguished, should I say, supporters of NIIRIC. Please permit me to stand on the very well-established protocols. Doing this on behalf of the chairperson of the NIIRIC steering committee, in the person of Mrs. Anna Eve Parker, the executive secretary of PEFCA, and she's also the chairperson of the NIIRIC steering committee. So I'll just be reading our address that also speaks to the milestone. Distinguished guests, steering committee members, development partners, representatives of government agencies, leaders of industry, academia, and the research community, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the second annual convening of the Nigerian Impact Investing Research and Industry Collaborative, NIIRIC. I extend warm greetings to all of you joining us with Baker this evening for what is more than a convening, but a true celebration of collective efforts, evidence-driven collaboration, and the growing momentum behind Nigeria's impact investing, research and innovation ecosystem. This convening is in every sense a milestone night, a moment to take stock, to acknowledge how far we have come since our inaugural convening and to chart pathways for the work that lies ahead. When we met at last year's inaugural convening, NIIRIC was still a bold, new experiment, an ambitious attempt to unite government agencies, researchers, investors, industry players, and innovation leaders around a shared mission. And what is that shared mission? To strengthen Nigeria's impact economy through high-quality research, actionable insights, and institutional collaboration. 1 year later, I am incredibly proud to say that NIIRIC is no longer an experiment. It is a functioning platform, a growing ecosystem, a credible convener, a collaborative engine that is beginning to shape the contours of research to impact pathways in Nigeria. This year, NIIRIC designed and implemented a very rigorous and productive program cycle. And tonight, we are gathered to celebrate some of the key milestones and achievements. Throughout 2025, NIIRIC worked across multiple streams, policy advocacy to mainstream impact investing in Nigeria, research and innovation, commercialization, institutional coordination, and industry engagement. And the list of outputs is long and substantive. Later this evening, NIIRIC will present and launch some key outputs from the extensive work that has been done this year. And these outputs include the Policy Pathways for Impact Investing in Nigeria report, Advancing Institutional Collaboration for Impact Investing, the Research and Innovation Industry Brief for the Agriculture and Food Processing, Energy and Environment, Health sectors, from Lab to Market, Research to Commercialization Toolkit, the first edition, the Nigerian Impact Investing Landscape Study 2025, and the NIIRIC official website. Launching tonight, the website becomes the central hub for our research outputs, policy briefs, toolkits, and updates, giving Nigeria a single entry point to engage with our work. Across all these streams, a unifying thread emerges. We are building a knowledge infrastructure for Nigeria's impact economy. Infrastructure that policymakers can rely on. Infrastructure that researchers can contribute to. Infrastructures that investors can use to make informed decisions. I want to recognize with deep appreciation the remarkable level of collaboration achieved this year. NIIRIC Steering Committee and technical partners have worked closely with key government agencies represented here tonight, including the Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology, NOTAP, RMRDC, and SMIDAN, the Research and Innovation Commercialization Committee, the Innovation and Technology Management Office, ITMO University of Lagos, and several others. The expertise and institutional support each of you brings have made our work richer, more credible, and far more grounded in Nigeria's realities. Our development partners, including the FCDO, the Riser Fund, we are immensely grateful to you. You have provided not only funding, but strategic guidance and validation. Our private sector collaborators and ecosystem leaders have ensured that our research reflects industry priorities and investment realities. This multi-stakeholder structure, which many thought would be too complex to sustain, is now proving to be NIIRIC's greatest asset. The theme for tonight, a special dinner, networking and milestones celebration night, captures the spirit of what we are here to do. We are here to celebrate progress, but we are also here to recommit ourselves to what remains unfinished. And there is still much to do. As we look ahead to 2026, the conversations will shift towards scale. How does NIIRIC deepen its national footprint? How do we expand adoption of our reports and tools? How do we translate research into policy and policy into investment at pace? And crucially, how do we ensure coordination across agencies is not episodic but sustained, institutionalized, and impactful? These questions will guide our strategy for the year ahead. I would like to express special thanks to the CEO of the Impact Investors Foundation, IIF, the National Advisory Board on Impact Investing, NABI, and the entire IIF leadership team, the NIIRIC Steering Committee for their diligence and commitment, all our partner institutions, government representatives and consultants, and the NIIRIC General Assembly. The program manager, Dr. Kingsley Godwin, and his team, and every stakeholder present this evening whose work continues to shape Nigeria's impact investing, research, and innovation landscape. Your contributions, insights, and partnership have brought NIIRIC to this point. Ladies and gentlemen, as we open this year's convening, I invite us all to engage deeply, connect meaningfully, and imagine boldly. Nigeria's potential is vast, but potential alone is not enough. It is the work we do together, the bridges we build, the policies we shape, the research we generate, and the investments we catalyze that will define our future. I am honored to welcome you to the second annual NIIRIC Convening. May tonight's conversations inspire action. May our collaborations deepen. And may this platform continue to grow as a beacon for research-driven, impact-oriented development in Nigeria. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that powerful message, and also questions asked there on how do we do this? How do we position NIIRIC better? How do we make this happen more? And one thing caught my attention there. It's not about the potential, it's about how we do this together. And I'm looking forward to each and every one of you in this room coming together to make sure that research reaches that place of commercialization. I would just like to give a shout out to some people that I saw walk into the room. Mrs. Kende Ayini, Executive Director, LEAP Africa, member of the NIIRIC Steering Committee. Please put your hands together. She's looking so lovely with the coat of many colors. I love it. Okay. Before I even go further today, if you look on your table, because we're an organization that likes to position not just for this marketing part of things, but we're a brand that wants to be solidified, and we want each and every one of your voice. Remember, it's about doing it together. If you look at your table, you'll see a QR code there. Please, if you can scan it and just fill out that perception survey, you can do it. I would be mentioning this time and time again as we go on through this session. But we're moving to the next session of today. We've heard all these remarks and goodwill messages, but we still have some awesome goodwill messages coming from some of our partners, some of our members. And I think the first person I will be calling on today, Simon Field, Deputy Head of Mission, British Deputy High Commission, Deputy Head of Mission, British High Commission, to give us his 5 minutes goodwill messages. Please put your hands together for him as he comes forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and well pronounced on the multiple deputies that make up my life. I am the Deputy Head of Mission at the Deputy High Commission here in Lagos, which is one too many deputies for this time of the evening. Thank you very much. Allow me to please stand on the very well-established existing protocols. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the second Nigerian Impact Investment Research and Industrial Collaboration Convening. That's the last time I'm going to pronounce it, and from now on I will be calling it NIIRIC, like everybody else. This evening we celebrate the many achievements of our successful partnership, including with the Research, Innovation and Systems Fund for Africa and the Impact and Foundations Fund. And we look forward to further inspiring momentum in pursuit of our shared prosperity goals. Impacting investment in Nigeria and across the continent is a crucial driver for economic growth. It enables capital flows to businesses that desperately need it, helping them to deliver both profit and, crucially, social change. This approach increases access to essential services in underserved communities across a wide range of sectors, including healthcare, renewable energy, climate-smart agriculture, education, finance technologies, and many more. It supports business growth, creates jobs, and improves livelihoods. This is the capital which Nigeria crucially needs. And it's a prime example of the modern-day development approach that my government is pursuing. We are proud to support the seeding of the NIIRIC. I was about to say NIIRIC, which would have been a mouthful, as well as the Enterprise Support Collaboration, which has supported over 20 ISOs, 121 businesses, and supports the Wholesale Impact Investment Fund. We are particularly proud of the WIIF because it's a strong signal in a support shift, domestic capital funding, reducing the reliance on donor funding. Today, however, is about the NIIRIC, I'm about to do it again, a mission-driven research industrial collaboration that produces and disseminates research in response to the industrial needs, helping to shape further direction for sustainable research finance and research commercialization. All such reports will be launched today, and we hope that these knowledge outputs will help aggregators all in this room and beyond to go around a common purpose, to strengthen the impact investing ecosystem. Thank you very much for your time, and I do wish you a very successful evening. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Thank you. They keep handing me different names every time I leave this stage. So pardon me that I'll call another name again. Mr. Ramadan Yusuf, the Senior Special Assistant on Media and Innovation to Kano State. He's also the CEO of Spark Life Activity and Innovation Hub. Please put your hands together for him. It's good to have him in the room. Oh, it's funny. I was just thinking, interesting enough, that I was looking at the screen and I could just see he's right there. Okay, great. All right, we'll continue with the goodwill message, and the next person on my list is Ms. Anna Amayo Ureve, representing the Honorable Minister, Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science, and Technology. Please put your hands together for her. Thank you, ma'am.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm here on behalf of the Honorable Minister, Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science, and Technology, Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Ude-san. He had planned to be here, but due to official exigencies, he couldn't make it. So permit me to stand on the already established protocols and read his goodwill message. It's a great privilege to be part of the second edition of the convening of the annual Nigerian Impact Investing Research and Industry Collaborative, NIIRIC, a platform that has continued to strengthen dialogue, deepen collaboration, and promote excellence within Nigeria's research, innovation, and industrial development ecosystem. Let me first and foremost commend the CEO, Impact Investment Foundation, for sustaining this forum and for the critical work you do in advancing Nigeria's competitiveness through research-driven industrial solutions. As you all know, industrial research is the backbone of national development. No nation achieves economic transformation without a strong pipeline of research outputs, efficient commercialization mechanisms, and seamless industry research linkages. Therefore, platforms such as NIIRIC are essential, not only for strengthening professional networks, but also for promoting new ideas, facilitating partnerships, and fostering a culture of innovation. In the past year, the Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology has intensified efforts to strengthen research governance, enhance accountability, and promote evidence-based decision-making. This includes ensuring effective implementation of the Science, Technology and Innovation Data Bank, ongoing reforms to reposition research and development institutes, and the Ministry's adoption of technology platforms to improve transparency and public accountability in project implementation. The ministry remains committed to policies that ensure stronger coordination of the research and innovation ecosystem, including the revitalization of the National Research and Innovation Council, NRIC, and the operationalization of the National Research and Innovation Fund, the NIIRIC. These mechanisms will provide strategic direction, sustainable funding, and greater synergy across the ecosystem. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also state that the ministry is pleased with the progress made on the development of the Research to Commercialization Toolkit, a practical guide designed to support researchers, innovators, and industry players in scaling research outputs into market-ready products and services. We believe this tool, among others, will serve as a significant step towards bridging the gap between research outputs and commercial industry uptake. I therefore urge all stakeholders present, researchers, industry leaders, academia, and innovators to continue to deepen collaboration and sustain the momentum required to build a globally competitive, innovation-driven Nigeria. Once again, I congratulate NIIRIC on this successful engagement and reaffirm the ministry's unwavering support as we work together to transform research into real socio-economic impact. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, I wouldn't waste much time. Don't worry. I always have stories, but I won't do stories now. Next is Professor Umar Binder, former DG NOTAP, representing the Chairman, Research and Innovation Commercialization Committee. This is not NIIRIC, it's just Rick. Okay, let's put our hands together for him as he comes forward. I told you, just watch out for me next time. I'll be wearing that hat with a scarf on it. Don't play. I do these things. You would see me when it's not a joke. Okay, no problem, sir. All right, I guess there's a presentation being put together there. We'll take, okay, I think he's not here yet. We'll take Ms. Ada Mokolo, Oladunke, Director, Technology, Innovation, and Commercialization, representing the DG for NOTAP. Let's put our hands together for her as she comes up. Please don't stop clapping until she gets here. And she's looking very lovely in this purple. It's good to have you, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Standing on existing protocol, I thank you for the opportunity given to NOTAP to be here. When my former Oga will now say I should speak after him, I wonder how I will fit into these big shoes, because this shoe, he had it with me years back. It's not today. But I thank you for this opportunity. I apologize for the inability of my Director General, Dr. Mrs. Obi Amadiobi, to be present today. She's having another engagement. And please, this is our own goodwill message, and as I read, please listen. The National Office for Technology Acquisition and Promotion appreciates Impact Investors Foundation for the invitation to a second NIIRIC annual convening, which is a gathering of distinguished stakeholders across various strategic partners. The evening's expectation of providing opportunity to celebrate our collective achievements, strengthen collaborations, and deepen relationships across Nigerians' investing, research, and innovation ecosystem are commendable, especially with the launch and unveiling of various strategic publications and tools as the Research to Commercialization Toolkit, first edition, which is the first of its kind within the Nigeria innovation system, and a significant milestone in Nigeria's quest to strengthen as well as deepen the translation of research outputs into market-ready products and services. NOTAP, within its mandate of facilitating the registration of transfer of foreign technology transfer agreements through contracts and promotion of indigenous technologies, has adopted the triple helix model of innovation to facilitate commercialization and bridge the gap of fostering linkages between industry and academia, with some of our activities as NOTAP Industry Research Laboratory Upgrade, which is a public-private partnership initiative targeted to improve R&D infrastructure in tertiary institutions with the complete upgrade of chemical laboratories of 10 academic and research institutions across Nigeria by companies. Then we have also NOTAP Industry Technology Transfer Fellowship. This is another PPP intervention model designed to produce critical mass of highly skilled workforce needed in the industry to foster academia industry linkage. From 2016 to date, over 21 graduate students have completed their PhD programs on scholarships sponsored by various companies and have been integrated into the tertiary institutions. NOTAP has also established over 68 intellectual property and technology transfer offices, IPTTOs, across various tertiary education research institutes in Nigeria. Also facilitated the grant of 339 national patents through the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment at no cost to the researchers, inventors, and innovators. Development of model science laboratory for secondary schools, among others. On this auspicious occasion, we congratulate NIIRIC on this laudable achievement. Be assured of NOTAP's continued goodwill and partnership at all times. Thank you. Dr. Barrister Lady Obi Amadiobi, Director General, NOTAP. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Professor Umar, are you ready now? Okay, let's put our hands together for Professor Umar Binder. Maybe I'll borrow this hat.
I'll give you the hat. Thank you very much. Sorry to delay it's a short presentation. It's a culture in the Research and Innovation Commercialization Committee. So we're very happy to be here with you, and we acknowledge the incredible NIIRIC efforts in trying to link our academia to industry. But you see, this country has been trying to break the jinx of using its knowledge for development. And our leaders have demonstrated so many efforts. Look at this. Many of us here possibly have participated in this. In the 60s, we thought we could actually link our knowledge to our people to build up the agricultural output so that we can be able to power our agro-industry and then feed our people. We failed. We even thought it was indiscipline that was our problem. Our military leaders launched war against indiscipline, making us to queue up everywhere, throw the banana peels properly. Still, we didn't do it. And right through Abacha, when he thought by 2010, Nigeria would have been so industrialized that we would have been manufacturing our vehicles and doing everything. We failed. And look at all the efforts. Obasanjo tried the needs to attain the Vision 2020. Yaradua came, may God be with him, tried through the 7-point agenda. President Goodluck Jonathan tried through the transformation agenda, and President Buhari tried through the next level, and by the time he left, he actually tried to say, well, we need to lift 100 million people out of poverty by the year 2030. These efforts are all to do with linking knowledge. And I'm aware that, and you should note, that we have policies too. We have a national science, technology, and innovation policy. It's there. We also have an approved intellectual property policy in this country. We also have an industrial policy that has been approved by the government. It's there. We also have a national policy on education. It is there. And now we are running on a policy that is presidential executive orders through the Renewed Hope Agenda and the Nigeria First. The Nigeria First believes that we should use Nigerian. So I hope that the chicken that we ate is Nigerian chicken, the spices are Nigerian chicken, the vehicles that we came in possibly are half Nigerian. And as somebody said, possibly in this room, if we were to pick using artificial intelligence and say anybody who is not wearing Nigerian, let the cloth disappear. And I'm sure many people would have faced challenges. Yes, that would be trouble. So the Nigerian First policy says if you go to a conference or a meeting like this, you press that AI button, everybody should be clothed. Everybody should be full. All the glasses should be Nigerian. That is where we are. Now, NIIRIC, I think, very, very strategically, in my opinion, has observed these failures, has decided as industry and a non-governmental institution to say that we must put efforts to connect our knowledge to our people. And they said we must be able to learn to score the goals. Although the world's developed nations keeps blowing the whistle that we must score these goals, but something is telling NIIRIC that this goalpost is actually on another planet. If we don't design proper methodologies, we cannot score. And that is why they're doing this. So, to me, if we support NIIRIC and strategically use NIIRIC to catalyze Nigeria to achieve its goals of peace, unity, happiness, high productivity, right down to gingering a country to be highly dynamic in terms of creativity and innovation, and I'm sure we would have assisted our people and our nation to score the three most very, very clearly set objectives. First, I think we must be able to reduce or eliminate the very embarrassing absolute poverty that is everywhere in our country. Imagine over 40% of Nigerians cannot drink from pipe-borne water. That is very sad. Imagine that we have 25 million children who are out of school. Everybody has a bit of that percentage. It's very, very sad. If NIIRIC succeed, I think we can eliminate these eliminatables. And that is what is going to push us to the next level, meaning that for us to be able to sustain this lack of poverty or elimination of poverty, we must power our people using our knowledge to make sure that they have skills, they have competencies, they are productive. And even when we locally or internationally encourage people to invest, it will become a win-win. And then our people would have generated the ethics of being disciplined, committed, and highly patriotic in this great country, so that we can also secure and become very happy and no primitive insecurity, and we can be able to encourage people to come to our country for holidays, and we too, we can take holidays either within our country to other. And I think if we have that, NIIRIC would have succeeded in the coming years to foster love, peace, unity, and prosperity. And when that is managed very, very well, I think the highest level that NIIRIC is pushing is to ensure that we also develop our country to be respected by other countries, because it will become a knowledge-driven country, it will become an innovation country, such that our institutions will be good and globally comparable, and we can be able to move forward. And in conclusion, I think representing my chairman of the Research and Innovation Commercialization Committee, if we all put our hands on deck, I think we can be able to support NIIRIC to have a logical framework, so that every year as we come here for special dinner, networking, we can be able to say that this is what we have achieved, and we look forward to next year. So I think if we do that, we can be able to unleash the opportunities in our country to evolve a prosperous, united, modern, competitive, industrialized, and possibly globally respected Nigeria. Thank you from NIIRIC and NIIRIC. Well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Very powerful speech there with the presentation. I loved the caricature cartoon there of this African person trying to, I think that was, well, I wouldn't say much to that. But three things we must take away here: eradicate poverty, absolutely underlined, access for everyone, and develop institution that helps us emerge as respected as a country. Love it. I think we'll go next to our next goodwill message from Mr. Mohammed Yaro. He is the Director of Investment Promotion and Consultancy, representing the DG RMRDC. So a lot of acronym. Please put your hands together for him. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Good evening, all. Please permit me to stand on the already established protocols. I'm here on behalf of our Director General, Raw Materials Research and Development Council, Professor Ike Monso. I'm here to deliver his goodwill message. The Director General, CEO, Raw Materials Research and Development Council, wish to extend his warmest greetings to the organizers and participants of the second NIIRIC annual convening. He conveys his profound appreciation to you all and to all other very important stakeholders in making this night a reality. Tonight's event is not only a celebration of milestone achieved, but also a testament to the growing influence of impact investing as a catalyst for inclusive and sustainable development in Nigeria. NIIRIC continues to demonstrate strong leadership in building an ecosystem where research, innovation, and investment intersect to shape a more resilient economic future. As we celebrate achievements, this occasion also reaffirms the importance of collaboration. For RMRDC, impact-driven partnerships remain central to our mission of advancing local raw materials development, strengthening value addition, and enabling industries to thrive. We recognize NIIRIC efforts in fostering dialogue among government, private sector, academia, and development stakeholders. Efforts that aligns closely with Nigeria's broader industrialization agenda. The DGCEO commends NIIRIC for its commitment to knowledge sharing, capacity building, and creating investment pathways that generate measurable social and economic value. This celebratory night is a reminder that progress is best sustained when stakeholders come together to learn, connect, and build stronger alliances. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of RDC and the Director General CEO, I congratulate NIIRIC on its accomplishment and encourage all guests to maximize this unique opportunity for meaningful networking and collaboration. May tonight's celebration inspire even greater milestones in the years ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Okay, amazing session so far. Are we having fun? Yes? All these good messages come with a powerful message inside of each and every one of us. And as this was happening, we had Mr. Charles Odi, the DG for the Small Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria, walk into the room. Please give him a round of applause. It's good to see you, sir. Always happy to have you in the room. Really love that. And I'm just going to drag you here, if you don't mind. We're going to have to put our hands together again as he comes to give us his goodwill message. If that's okay, sir? Yeah? Please put your hands together until he gets here.
Thank you. Please permit me to stand on already established protocols. My name is Charles Odi. I'm the Director General of the Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria. SMEDAN. How many of us have heard of SMEDAN? For those of us who haven't heard, this is an agency of government that's saddled with the responsibility of rural industrialization. It means that we are supposed to go into the 774 local governments of Nigeria to industrialize the rural areas so that we can stop the urban rural migration, the exodus from the rural areas to the urban areas. This is the agency of government also saddled with the responsibility of job creation, poverty alleviation, and livelihood enhancement. And we are under the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. I want to welcome you all here for this very special second annual NIIRC convening. And it is my hope that at the end of this session, all of the things that we'll set out to do will be successful. We have, as at our last count, approximately 654,385 nano, micro, small, and medium enterprises. And if you take 10 small businesses and put them in a room and ask them what their problems are, 11 out of those 10 will tell you that access to finance is their biggest problem. And that's why I think that this kind of convening is very important. Because even without even understanding what their problems are, from their ancestors, it's been told to them that it is financing. And so when we have the Impact Investors Foundation coming together with GSG Impact, I beg your pardon, the UK International Development Organization, our goal is that by the end of this, when we release the reports and we celebrate the partners, the biggest beneficiaries will be our small business owners. Out of the 39,654,385, 38,413,420 businesses are nano and micro businesses. And my job is to make sure that we can grow our businesses from nano and micro to small and medium and eventually large enterprises. And so that's why it's important for me, to cut short everything that I was doing, to be here, to see how our small businesses can benefit from the impact of this second annual convening. And I'll be here till the end of the session, so that anyone who has a phenomenal idea on how our small businesses can get single-digit interest loans, grants, financing, we can get access to that. I'm going to leave with this to say that for us as Medan, we've been able to access 12 billion naira single-digit interest loans, but it's not enough. We have businesses that are very ready, and if there's anybody who has any source of financing and is looking for any sector, because we are sector agnostics, we are very much ready to partner with anyone and to make sure that we can help our small businesses thrive. So on this note, I want to welcome everybody here. I want to congratulate you, and I want to let you know that we're ready for collaboration. We can't do it alone. We have approximately 409 employees. There are approximately 40 million small business owners. What we're beginning to do is to actually get certified business development service providers to help us go into the nooks and crannies of Nigeria to help our small businesses with financing. And so we are also calling on the Impact Investors Foundation. We are calling on the UK International Development Organization to see how we can help to solve this problem of access to finance to our small businesses. Because we are ready. Our small businesses are ready. We have set up a curriculum called the ICSS in partnership with the German corporation, where our small business owners have gone through the rudimentary and fundamental curriculum to starting and scaling their enterprises. At our MSME conference last week, we graduated approximately 6,102 entrepreneurs, and they're ready for the financing. So we're here to work with anyone who's interested to make sure that we can help the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to grow Nigeria's economy to being a $1 trillion economy. And we can't do this without the small business owners. And these are the people that contribute approximately 50% of Nigeria's GDP. And so I'm going to be here all through, and I'm wishing each and every one of us a blissful evening so that we can help to grow the MSME ecosystem. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you so much. Powerful speech there, and a call for each and every one of us to know that even as we're doing research, it should help the 39 million. I can't do it. I thought that you must have said that yeah, that's a better. I would say that approximately 40 million, because I couldn't say it the way he said it. I thought that was powerful to even know them to the last digits. That was really good. Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate that, and it's good to have you in the room. Okay, but before we go further, we'd like to call everyone that just did the goodwill message to come together just for a picture before we move further. Shall I name them again? Mr. Simon Field, Miss Anna Amawo Revwe, Professor Umar Binda, Mr. Charles Odi, Ms. Ada Mokole Oladunke, and Mr. Mohamed Yaro. Please put your hands together for them. And also our CEO, who just joined them in this photo so that we can take a picture. We just want to do this real quick. We didn't want them to disappear. You know, we have this. It's our camera guy. Okay, he's ready. They're looking so radiant. Amazing. Thank you so much. Let's put our hands together for them. Amazing goodwill messages. And these are the good people, the good leaders that are making things happen for research and SMEs and even innovation across Nigeria. Okay. Is everybody having fun tonight? Yeah? So far, are we having fun? Yeah? I know there was a lot of goodwill messages. And when that happens, everybody just goes into the room like, oh, yeah. Yeah, but we need to gear up, okay? And now we'll go into something more interactive, and we'll be going to our first panel session on NIIRIC's key outputs. And to carry us through this panel session is our program and policy associate at NIIRIC. Today is her birthday as well, so if you see her, say happy birthday to her. Pamela, are you okay? Let's put our hands together for her, and she'll be introducing the rest of the panel to us and taking us on this conversation. Yeah, please. I think I'll give you this mic.
Good evening, everyone. Let me just take my... Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we'll go right into the interactive panel session. Sorry, let me just take my seat. So today we'll be launching a set of knowledge products, and this particular panel session is to give us insights into these reports. What are they for? What's the value for ecosystem players? So I'll just get right into it. I mean, it's a milestone celebration dinner. I'll be calling on Mr. Oswald Osaratin Gubudia. He is the managing partner, Digital Consulting. Sir, please kindly come to the stage. Please let's give him a round of applause. I'll be calling on Daryl Obaolua, Circular Economy Innovation Program. Please come to the stage. And our very own Mr. Prince Obona, CEO Molo Ventures. Please kindly come to the stage. Okay, welcome everyone. How are we doing today? Okay, good to have you here. So I'll begin with Mr. Oswald Gubudia. Good evening. Thank you very much. So you've worked on 2 major reports, of which one will be launched today. And at NIIRIC, we're committed to mainstreaming impact investing. One of our major visions is to mainstream impact investing in Nigeria, and IF fostering an ecosystem for impact investment is something we're very big on. So we'd like to know, speaking to the Advancing Institutional Collaboration for Impact Investing in Nigeria report, I want you to give us insight into this report. What's the content? What's the value? What's the relevance for ecosystem stakeholders, researchers, and even investors? So please, I'd like you to give us a brief insight into this report.
Okay, thank you very much. Why are they making you work on your birthday? Thanks for having me today, and thanks for the opportunity to work with this group to develop these 2 reports. One being about the policy path. As you heard from the presentation from the previous DG, we have a lot of policies. And I think when you're a policy advisor, you realize that in Africa, we don't have a lack of intelligent people or understanding that pain points need to become provision points in a document. So we have a policy for almost everything. The problem is now implementation. Research is fantastic. I was really glad to hear about the fact that this is really about connecting the research into academia and into implementation, into commercialization of ideas. But I think one of the missing links in the entirety of this is sort of the collaboration to implementation. And the document, does research into what are the different stakeholders that are into the impact investing, the different players in impact investing, understanding what is the primary issue that causes the lack of collaboration and lack of coordination. It seems like an obvious answer in the sense that, okay, just collaborate. It's not a question. But I think that the organizations like this, obviously, just listening to the people in the room already forces some sense of collaboration because it's bringing together different parties. And we believe that more, KPIs around collaboration is required in governance to allow for, effective collaboration and coordination within government. What you will find is that if each individual stakeholder just lives his mandate truly and honestly, it doesn't lean towards collaboration. It actually leans away, right? Because, you have certain targets that you're meant to meet. And if collaboration is not one of them, then you're not going to say that SMIDAN, which my brother Charles runs very effectively and brilliantly, should be partnering with NOTAP. Sometimes the linkages are not so obvious immediately. But I think that when we look across the continent, what we find is that, and Nigeria, is that this lack of collaboration and coordination ends up being a really big problem. So that's what the research document. I go read it. Interesting enough, I'm sitting in for my partner, who is Tracy. Her and her team did this document. And when I read it, because I was involved in the process, I was like, wow, we want to do impact investing, but how would the impact really be felt if it's not done in a collaborative fashion? And in addition, when you think of the definition of impact investing, it's environmental and societal, but you want to do impact investment without the community aspect in the process of impact investing. So the outcomes will be not exactly what you expect. Where you expect 10 folds, you get 2 folds. So we need to, if you look at the report, it sort of gives suggestions to how to help increase collaboration and coordination.
Okay, thank you very much. Please let's give him a round of applause. Okay, Baolua, how are you doing today? Okay, so the Research and Innovation Industry Brief Report the first part focuses on 4 critical sectors: agriculture, food processing, energy, environment, health. So could you share insights on the key challenges and barriers to commercialization in these sectors, and also giving insights into that report as you answer the questions? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pamela. I would like to start by... Hello? Okay, it's fine. Oh, thank you. So I'd like to start by thanking the NIIRIC and also the Impact Investor Foundation and the NABII for this opportunity to work on this. Of course, we focused on 3 areas because we merged agriculture and food processing. So agriculture and food processing going together. Then, of course, health, and the last one being environment, energy and environment. One key thing that, like he said, collaboration is very important, right? But I think maybe the focus for them was, on the general impact investing space. But I think for us, it was, driving down to these 3 sectors, like I mentioned. And in terms of the key challenges, when you look at maybe, for example, agriculture and food processing, obviously you'd you'd know for many of the stakeholders in the room that one of the key challenge is infrastructure. In terms of infrastructure that supports the processing, that supports the work of the researchers within that particular space. And so another thing that I would like to point out is talking about the fragmentation of research, especially in the extension systems. So that's really a key challenge within the agric and food processing. I would say that another thing is the low investor confidence in that particular space, because generally in Nigeria, the investor confidence is quite low because of the different challenges around policy. One of the key things that you see across cutting for all the sectors is, people talk about the fact that there are a lot of policies that are, fragmented. I had mentioned some time ago how that there is also that disparity in terms of how these policies can just be all over the place, and you don't know which ones are even going to support this, or which ones are, and then of course, it's all over the place. So that fragmentation of policy, that's a key challenge. For the energy and environment, same thing, policy gaps in terms of key policies that could help to mobilize, investments, that could help to mobilize, funding towards the research and innovation industry. And for the health sector, the key challenge I saw there, that we saw there, was the data, gaps. One of the things that we also saw was the workshop, the shortages in the workforce. Of course, that this challenge around the migration of doctors, nurses, we call it JACPA, right? So that's really a key problem within that particular sector. So a lot of challenges. Of course, I can't start to mention.
Yeah, you can mention everything.
All the challenges. However, in terms of what the strategies we could deploy to stem these challenges, for the agriculture, there are a couple of things around ensuring that there's a clear business model, especially for the research industry. The business model is key. So whether people need to know, especially the researchers need to know who we buy and under what conditions they would buy. And so those are some of the key things. And also to de-risk, we need to de-risk innovation. De-risking the innovation means that, researchers have more confidence and investors have more confidence to, invest. And a couple of other things within that particular research. It's a 40-page report, and one of the ways that we broke it down was to look at the general snapshot of the industry. We looked at critically who are the key stakeholders within that particular industry, who are the players within the industry. If you look at that particular report, which you'd see very shortly, you see the different key stakeholders along the different sectors. You'd also see the challenges within those sectors, and primarily you see some of the emerging innovation within those industry. The emerging innovations are very interesting because you think that maybe the researchers are not, or the innovators are not doing some interesting things, but if you look around, you see some very interesting research and innovation work that is ongoing, and there's a lot of things that we can encourage investors to invest in. The only challenge is to move it from just pilots into bankable and business model strong projects. So that's really what I would say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have investors, we have researchers in the room. I hope from this report, the inputs in here will be able to form decision making. So we'll move over to Mr. Prince Sobona. Sometime in October, we had the Research to Commercialization Toolkit Development Workshop, and that particular workshop gave insights into the toolkits. of which we had like an extensive review of the toolkit. So I'm really glad that this toolkit is going to be launched here, and I look forward to the input and the impact it's going to make in the ecosystem. So let's get right into it. So I would like to know, the R2C toolkit is designed to help researchers turn their ideas into scalable, market-ready solutions. Could you walk us through the key components of the toolkit and share how researchers and ecosystem players can best leverage it to maximize its value? How can this be of value to the ecosystem players and researchers?
Yeah, okay, thank you, Pamela, and happy birthday again. So the journey for the R2C toolkit started, I think, sometime in April, 30th April. We had, just
the research
commercialization workshop actually. And it was really interesting. One of the things that we did in the workshop was we just did like a brief research to say what is the percentage of research outputs that are in the shelf in Nigeria. And we discovered that 98% of the total research, it's in the shelf. And so 2% actually get to the market. And so it's a burden in the country. And I'm really happy that IIF and the NIIRIC took that position to say, okay, we should develop a toolkit in that direction. Interestingly, the toolkit was designed from the place of design thinking, where we're bringing in also collaborators within the ecosystem to come together to say, how do we come together and design, bridge, have more like a tool that brings together the researchers and industry players, and the both of them can come together and work things out. So interestingly about that is that the first thing we did was we looked at the IP, management, and look at how we can protect IP. So in the toolkit, you're going to see, intellectual property, protection and management. You're going to see business development strategies. And it's important because I've been in the industry innovation ecosystem for over 15 years and had several experiences, supporting startups and all of that. So we realized that most of the researchers that have very interesting, outputs have the challenge of taking that output to the market. So industry is playing on one side, and then researchers are playing on the other. So this is like the first time, right? It's going to be like a nexus, like a bridge, connecting both worlds. And we're happy that this toolkit is going to do it just that. And look at the business development component side of it. Most researchers don't understand how to, design a canvas, a business canvas, look at what their market is like, size their market, look at what validate their market using, principles that have been tested in the industry. Also look at the funding pathways, investment readiness components that would help them. So, and then there are a lot of directories that we give, because we also understand that most of these researchers would need to be accelerated. You cannot just develop those researches. And so, we designed linkages with the innovation ecosystem. So you have them, expose them to the right innovation ecosystem players that can also help them. So the toolkit also presents checklists to say, for every session, have you done this? If you have done this, you tick this and you tick that, it helps you to move to the next level. So it's more like beyond just having a toolkit, it's more like a guide that helps you transform your output to viable products in the market. So I believe that it's going to be very essential in transforming the future of innovation for this country. Yep.
Okay, thank you very much. So Mr. Gubudia, I'll be coming back to you again. So this is the last round of questions. So I would like to know, what would you say the report you worked on, the both of them, I would like to know, I just want you to lay emphasis on the importance of the community, the NIIRIC community and stakeholders here in the room. What would you say, why should they make use of this report? Why would you emphasize the use of this report and why they should take a review of it, the importance? I just want you to lay emphasis on this.
Interesting question. So I think reports are great. I remember I used to tell people I'm tired of conferences. And then I realized that in Africa, you know, we must see each other first, embrace each other, and then we can work together. And I think although the knowledge is known, it's always good to see, you know, a different perspective on the issues that we are dealing with collaboratively or as a group of people. Like the toolkit you just mentioned, you know, it sounds like something I've worked on, but I want to also see how he has taken a new perspective to see what the new knowledge is that would help solve this problem. So these two reports, one of them speaks from a policy perspective, as in what is the policy issues in impact investing, and the other one speaks to the mechanics of how the policies will ultimately be implemented, which is the collaborative nature of the ecosystem. And I think I touched on some of this earlier, but these two reports actually expounds on what the potentials are, which I'm sure everybody in this room knows, based on the numbers and dynamics of what Africa and Nigeria has to offer. But it also goes into, you know, what areas of policies, you know, related to the fragmentation was already mentioned up here. And this is why I said none of this is really new, right? What you end up getting is a different perspective as to how to look at it, which will probably help enable you come up with a better way to implement. I would say all these activities are really to drive implementation. A new way to look at it, different perspective, hopefully some new knowledge. That's always helpful to understand, you know, how to solve the problem. You know, a lot of times, I think my DG friend actually even said it, that if you ask startups and MSMEs, they will say money is the problem. But those of us in the policy space, we know that policy is actually the problem. You know, I think money becomes a problem because you feel you can use money to climb over any problem that policy puts in front of you. But the right set of policy fragmentation, it doesn't matter how much money you have. So these reports actually speaks to the policy fragmentation, speaks to what needs to be put together to ensure that we're able to drive policy for impact investing, and also how to create KPIs to drive linkages and collaborations between agencies that are key stakeholders in the impact investing space. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll go back to Obaoluwa. So how can the insights from the Research and Innovation Industry Brief Report help researchers, ecosystem players, and the broader NIIRIC community to identify viable innovation opportunities, strengthen research to market pathways, and better align their work with real markets and industry needs?
Yeah, so I'll go quickly to it. So we looked at the different categories of stakeholders, and you know, stakeholders across, of course, researchers are the very at the center point of this. So I'll start with the researchers. I think for researchers, it helps you to understand where the market is. Because sometimes it's not about wanting to do a research. It's about wanting to, you know, commercialize, you know, research. It starts with the research, right? So the first thing is you need to know where the market potential is, and then you're able to drive your effort or your research towards where the market potential is. Because, you know, at the end of the day, if you're going to commercialize, the market is really important. So you can't just be doing research all over the place without having a focus of, you know, commercialization even from the very beginning. So that's the first thing. And then also it helps them to understand the policy direction. There are a couple of policies already, you know, on ground. So for example, the energy and environment, when we're looking at the energy and environment, the Electricity Act is a game changer. And many would agree with that. So understanding what the policy direction is, that's one clear thing that the research would, when you go through the research, you'll be able to see that for the three sectors. And then also, I think maybe just moving on to all the private sector stakeholders, especially the venture, the VCs and the rest.
Okay, that would be enough.
The investor. No, just one. I needed to, point this out, please. So NHA, which is the American Health Organization, in 2024, they invested about $39 billion, and the output, what they got out of it, was about 90 billion. So that means there's a if you invest in research, the ROI margin is very, very great. And so one of the key things that points to, VCs or whatever the kind of private sector players here in Nigeria is the fact that investing in research is really high return on investment. So I needed to point that out.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I'll go to Mr. Prince in 2 minutes. Briefly, yes, 2 minutes, please. Thank you very much. So, briefly inform us, how does the R2C toolkit help address the barriers and support researchers in successfully moving their innovations and concepts to market-ready solutions? So, briefly, just share insights.
All right. So, where the issue is what's called the value of debt, right? Where research work die before they get to the market, and you see that Europe and every other, continent is targeting, interventions around that. Also for Nigeria, this toolkit would do something really transformational. You have direct guides on what to do and how to go about it, the right partners to meet with, the right strategies to go about, the right methodologies to use. I can guarantee you that with the help and collaborations of stakeholders, during the validation, I'm happy that most of the stakeholders here were there, and we validated. In fact, over 73, recommendations were made, and all were incorporated in this toolkit. So the toolkit in itself, whether you are in the non-oil and gas or you are doing the oil and gas, that the pathways are there clearly defined for you, to help you scale and get to the market. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So thank you very much. Now we'll go into the question and answer segment. I don't know if anyone has questions to ask. Okay, I can see a hand over there. We'll take just 2 questions. Just 2. Good. There are plenty of hands. Oh my God. Okay, we have one here. I think he raised his hand first.
My name is Dr. Murutala Adoji Mohammed of the System Strategy and Policy Lab, a governance and development think tank in Abuja. To the panelists, well done. I listened attentively and I have 3 questions. Maybe any one of you can just respond. One, what next? The next steps. We have so much fantastic and amazing research with findings across Nigerian libraries, offices, agencies, departments. So what next? Then number 2, how did you see the findings influencing any policy? And what do you think might be a success as a result of this research? What are you going to call a success? Is it changing policy, changing allocation, changing releases, changing lifting people out of poverty, changing increase in employment? Let's get some few indicators that we can track in the next 2 to 3 years to see what has changed. Then the last one is closely related to the first one. How do you intend to take it forward to the people that's supposed to make use of it, and we ensure that they make use of it, maybe from National Assembly, from the policy implementers, from agencies, and ensure that the money we invested in this research has yielded the desired result? Thank you.
Okay, panelists. Is this question open to, was it thrown to each and everyone? Okay.
Okay, let me just take what relates to me, okay? So the toolkit, whatness, and it's very interesting to see that the proactive leadership of IIF. Today we had a conversation, a very brief conversation with the CEO and the steering committee members, and it's interesting that we're saying that we also don't want this toolkit to be in the shelf also. So how do we take this? And it is interesting that we're already talking about how to design, a platform, that makes it easy for you to navigate through this toolkit and make use of it, like an app and all of that. And the CEO is saying, oh, please, you have to just push, Prince, you guys have to just begin to push this stuff. And I want to congratulate, the CEO and, the NIIRIC program managers for being very proactive in work. So for the whatness, I believe that will be the next step. And working with the RICC to integrate this across several universities and the technology transfer offices to have these documents and see how they're going to implement, because the guide is really, concise and very comprehensive.
That's fine. Thank you very much. So to the second question, I don't know if the response is or does.
The second question again, please. Okay, so I think that in line with what he has said, NIIRIC is really proactive, and the work is going to, and it's very obvious with the level of stakeholders who are in the room. I think you are also part of the people who are going to, the stakeholders in the room. The stakeholders in the room are part of the critical contributors to the success of the next steps. So I think one critical thing I must mention is the fact that there's a lot of capacity building that needs to go into business model understanding, especially for the researchers. And I think that the research to commercialization toolkit would be a very critical play a very critical role in that. Getting people to see this, getting more people to adopt it is really very important. And I think that that's really one of the ways that we can measure success. The number of people who are going to adopt this research to commercialization toolkit, the level of understanding of the business model, the market understanding of the researchers to be able to know where the clear problems are. For the agric and food processing, there's a lot of work that needs to go into post-harvest losses, for example. They need to know that, that's the direction. That's a clear direction for you to, invest your research power into. Yes, I'll say that those are some of the things I would like to work on going forward.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gubodia. Any words? Just briefly.
Yeah, I think my colleagues here have answered most of basically the answers for the question. I would just add that I think, apart from just new knowledge, I think what this report also does is bring awareness to impact investing. Most people don't understand what impact investing, the idea that it's not really just returns, but also the actual KPIs around what needs to be done for society and the environment. So I think when these reports are pushed out, they walk. And, if it's just a coffee table that sits on somebody's office, you have shared knowledge that helps the impact that you're trying to achieve. But the guys have said it, everybody in the room is a stakeholder to this. And we all have a part to play in ensuring that we're able to get desired outcomes.
Thank you very much. So we'll just take one more question, please. Ah, good. Okay. There's so many hands. Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, my name is Nonyo Mahe. I'm a medical laboratory scientist and a BDSP as well. I have a question and then bullet points of what I think can work. I would like to know the data you are talking about for the health sector, that there's no, that the problem that was found out was a lack of workforce. In as much as people are buying, we also have a lot of healthcare workers here. So I want to understand the perspective very well. And then in terms of what we've been saying, what I think can work, because really, just like Doctor said, we've been talking about a lot of policies for long. I think maybe in the toolkit that has been developed, we need to look at the final year students and deploy that toolkit to them so that they can understand what that market potential is, because you can't do innovation without knowing what the market need is. Most times people do research, starting from the research question, they don't understand whether it ties well with what the market needs. And that also goes with professional associations. I don't know if part of the work that was also done with professional bodies. A lot of them are doing research, and both them and the students, they sit on the shelf. Then NOTAP and another problem that most researchers have, scientists, they're always thinking of IP theft. A good number of them don't know about NOTAP. So I'm also throwing the challenge, please. And then the Ministry of Science and Technology and the 17 agencies that are there, I think they need to do a lot with their social media. People need to know what they are doing. A lot of the younger people don't know what is happening. For a good example is NOTAP. Someone mentioned it during the SME conference, and they were told that there's NOTAP, and the lady was interested. She didn't know that what she's doing can be protected with IP. So a lot of information, and that will now open them up to do more research that will help and be more impactful. I'll stop there for now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyways, I didn't get any question from there. Do you have anything to say?
Well,
but this is the last question.
She didn't ask any questions.
Actually, I didn't get that. I didn't get any question from
to stuff, but just really.
The first one, the data.
So, the data. When you look at the reports, you see a lot of references to data and all that. But the point is, you'd agree with me that the healthcare worker to patient ratio is quite low, especially when you compare it with the global standards. So I won't be able to specifically tell you what that ratio is, but that is really a key problem that we found out during the research. And I think you also pointed to the fact that, did you mention something around the ROI? Okay, but that's it. The doctor to patient ratio quite low. Even the other healthcare worker to patient is quite low. So that's really like a key pointer to where that data is coming from. But specifically, if you go through the report, you see where the data comes from.
Okay, thank you very much. I wish we could take more questions, but our time is fast spent. A lot has been said. Emphasis has been made on collaboration and the need to de-risk innovation to build investor confidence. We've learnt about the R2C toolkit and its importance for scaling research into market solutions. So thank you very much, my co-panelists. Thank you very much, Mr. Kubudia. Thank you very much, Obalua and Mr. Obona. It was nice having you here. And with that, we've come to an end of the interactive panel session. Thank you very much, everyone.
Once again.
I think we're supposed to take a group picture. CEO Ma. No, please, my CEO is coming in. No. I'll be beside her.
Thank you so much. Great conversation. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I totally agree with that. All the ladies in IIF are tall ladies. So yeah, it's a Viking thing because we were raising warriors in IIF to get everyone to fight for impact. So every business needs to become an impact business. Every money in Nigeria needs to become an impact money. and every individual needs to become an impact individual, right? I guess is the goal. And I really loved that interactive session. How many people really enjoyed that conversation there? I truly enjoyed that conversation. I had a lot of notes here. I thought NIIRIC has done a very fantastic work with just putting these three buckets together. You know, one was around the policy, the other was around the market, and the other was around the toolkit for every individual. And I thought these three people who sat here should be sitting in a room, bringing in the stakeholders for all their report, and we should have a conversation. There should be a collaboration across the three of them, and I'm sure that's why they sat here. And you as stakeholders, as partners as well, to foster policy, market, and the toolkits. I just love what you said about getting that toolkit into the hands of the young people, making sure that as they're graduating from university, here's a toolkit for why you should do research, because this market needs it, and it will foster this policy more effectively. I thought that blew my mind. And as head of partnership and fundraising at IIF, I'm very excited to be in this space at this time for a reason. Guys, you're also in the right place at the right time. We're moving on to the next session. All of these things that have been mentioned today have been put into our website. And if you heard our CEO from the beginning, she mentioned that one of the things about doing all of these things is to make it real time. Put it on a chat bot, an AI GPT, where you as stakeholders can go and just chat with it. But we've started something, we've started in a place, and we'll bring in our creative director to present to you guys today the NIIRIC official website. Let's put our hands together as we welcome Stephen Ajose as he shows us what they've done with the website and how you can access many of this report. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. So I'll be showing us the official website of the NIIRIC platform, and what the website is supposed to do is to help members of the community to access resources on the platform. And our CEO has mentioned that the NIIRIC is now part of the national voice in the country, so you want to put your you also want to put your own publication, report, case study, policy, dialogue on the platform. You are rest assured that it's a place where the people that matter in the country and are going to be accessing the platform to read your documents. Okay, so I'll share my screen now to just show us what the website look like. Okay, can we? Okay, thank you. So this is the NIIRIC website, NIIRIC.org. You might want to go check it on your phone right now. It's also mobile responsive. So you want to see highlights about the NIIRIC community. It's there. Some of the reports that will be launched today will be accessible on the platform. So all you just need to do is to click, and then you can download the report. One of the reasons why we have the highlights here is that so immediately you land on the website, you can quickly know what's happening within the community without going to other pages. You can also see them on other pages, but immediately you get on the website, the highlight section tells you what is happening, the latest report we have, latest workshop, latest communique that's on the platform. You can see that on the highlight section. And also you see what we do, the 5 pillars of the NIIRIC platform: the research and innovation to commercialization, industry collaboration and engagement, policy advocacy, capacity building, mainstreaming Nigeria into global impact investing landscape. And you can also see events from the NIIRIC community on the platform right there on the landing page. And also this is one of the report that's been uploaded on the platform, the stakeholder mapping report. All of that report will be published with the IF account on the platform, but after the launch we'll be doing that, but you can also access it on the platform. So you can get to see about NIIRIC, what we do here, and then the report, And also we have the section for opportunities. So you want to get information about grants, training and scholarship fellowship programs. You can see that under the opportunities section. So somebody may ask, so how do I get my account on this platform? All you just need to do is to sign up. Very easy step. We know that most people are using this platform in the academia space. So once you sign up with your email address, either you can sign up with your LinkedIn or Gmail account to make the sign up process very smooth. Once you do that first process, the next thing you are going to do is to update your qualification. So we have titles such as doctor, professor, engineer, professor emeritus and all that. And then you put your university and faculty you represent and your research interest. You can update it so that when people search for you, they can see details about you on the platform. So let me sign out, and then so this is where you create your account. If you have an account already, you log in. If you don't have an account already, so you can either, like I said earlier, sign up with your Gmail or LinkedIn, or you enter your details yourself to sign up on the platform. So I wanted to go through their website ourselves. I will not be doing the sign-up process. The whole idea is for us to engage with the platform. It's very important for members of the NIIRIC community to engage with this platform so that we can share insights, we can share resources with members of the community and those who are trying to know about what NIIRIC is doing in Nigeria and Africa at large. If I have any question, or that will be my presentation for the NIIRIC website. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Anyone that knows me know I love tech, a lot of tech. I like building solutions. So I'm looking forward to that website having a NIIRIC chatbot there that you can click in and ask any question, and it would tell you whatever, reports about a research, whatever it is. I really just love AI. I believe that every website should be AI enabled, and so look forward to NIIRIC doing that work. But so far, let's just put our hands together for the website that NIIRIC has launched. I think that's a very wonderful initiative that they've done there to make sure that you can access reports that they're working on, access what NIIRIC is doing. But most importantly, I love that they're about to collect data. That's it for me. When you're collecting data, I'm excited. If you have a website that is not collecting data, I don't want to be interacting with your website. So they're already collecting data. If you're a researcher, a doctor, engineer, whoever you are, you can put things there. And that could also help you protect your IP, because if your name is already attached to something online, it's hard for someone else to go say, I put it there first, because there's always a timestamp as well with putting things online. But I know you're looking at me like, no, there's more than that. Okay. All right, cool. NoTap is like, Sam, don't say that. There's more to IP than just putting it online. But coming soon, AI. Coming soon, AI recording everybody's IP. I think there's a lot of discussion around IP with AI. So we're still working on it. Okay. We're moving forward to unveiling and launching this report, because there's some amazing people that have helped us bring this to life. So to launch this report and the NIIRIC website, which we've already done, this will be led by the Deputy Head of Mission, a lot of Deputy Head of Mission, British Deputy High Commission, FCDO, and if you don't mind, with him leading this launch of the report and the website, we're going to be having a representative from FMIST, from RIC, SMEDAN, NOTAP, RM, RDC, and with this, there'll be a group picture with the CEO and high-level stakeholders to launch this report as we launch it immediately. I think, if you don't mind, Deputy Head of Mission, I'm saying a lot of deputy here. Deputy Head of Mission, British Deputy High Commission, coming to lead this launch of the report. They'll be taking pictures and they'll be handing over the report. Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to call up my CEO again, Lady Etemore, to come and speak to the launch of this report as we also celebrate this report. Please put your hands together for her. It's always good to have her on stage speaking to us about amazing things that we're doing at IIF.
So I'm really excited tonight because of all of this research output that we have produced with the support of the FCDO through Research for Innovation Systems for Africa. Please, a round of applause to our partners. They've proven not just to be an institution that just throws funds at you. I remember when we were in the conversation to receive grants from yourself, and they identified areas where they will provide support. So we invited them to our office, and then we said to them, that look, it is important for us to scale research to innovation in Nigeria and the potential it has to move us to a knowledge-based and innovation country. And then we told them all the potentials that this could deliver. And guess what? You dipped your hand into your pocket and said, this must be done. So today we are standing here on your shoulders and want to say thank you very much for doing this great work for us. Our commitment today is not to leave this research work as only a two-dimensional product, but something that will be adopted and implemented by users, from policymakers, government, investors, and every stakeholder that will contribute, join hands with us to ensure that we have a transformed market, more informed market. Capital must be allocated more efficiently, more effectively. Research must be done with the market holding their hands to adopt not only the outputs, but giving you feedback on what worked, what didn't work, and what can be better. This is only just the beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, join us as we launch all of this output. Thank you.
Do we have 3? Great. Hence the trinity of research. The tripod of research, from the brief on policy to the market, and also the workbook. Amazing. Yes, and we have our leader Kingsley, in the picture as well. Amazing. I think that lab to market guy is looking like me. Love it. Okay, thank you so much. Please let's put our hands together. We appreciate. Okay.
Yes. Sorry, on the reports. So when we get this from lab to market, on page 103, our website for SMEDAN is www.smedan.gov.ng. I saw that it was missing there. Www.smedan.gov.ng, please. When you land on the website, You can get all our contact details, all our state managers' contact details is on there. I don't know, MD, was that deliberate?
Cannot be deliberate. We're so sorry.
Thank you. Please, in the updated one, www.smedan.gov.ng. Thank you so much.
Thank you, DG. I love that enthusiasm there. Just to come out and tell you that, look, but we're really sorry, DG. We will definitely make that happen. That was an omission. But even on the website, because that's a real-time correction, we'll make that happen on the website as well. Okay. It's been fun so far. And I just wanted to hear from the crowd, because I'm one of those people that I wouldn't just be talking here. I'm tired a bit of talking. Not really. Just wanted to hear some thoughts on, so far, we've had a journey of goodwill speeches. We've had a session now where we've discussed these three legs of markets, policy, and the workbook. I'm just going to look in the crowd. If anybody has a thoughts, I loved when our lady here offered a thoughts on how we should make sure that these are reaching the hands of university students that they graduate university. And I thought that was a great suggestion there for the young students. Anybody else in the crowd has a thoughts or a question just for us as IIF before we move to the next level? Or if you just have something that you want to say to us, this is that moment. Guys, we should always have something to say. Okay, I see one. I'll take three. 1, 2, 3. That's why I always much men. I always want more women, But okay, we'll do that. But before we do that, I've already said this. On your table, if you're just getting here, there is a QR code. We're very, very particular about how we brand ourselves and how we communicate our perception. And as we heard today, that was something that was said to NOTAB. That NOTAB, make sure that you're telling everybody about what you're doing. We'll be in your office soon about that. So please take your phones out, scan that QR code. We'd like you to fill out our survey to understand how we'll audit for our brand and communication to boost our visibility, to make sure that all these reports, all of this good work, and all of these mainstream things we're doing about making sure impact investment becomes the main thing is happening. So please help us with that feedback. Scan the QR code. Make sure you're doing that while I take this amazing contributions from everybody in the room. Guys, have you got mics to help me? You're not hearing me. Oh, is this better? Okay, cool. Media, can you help me with mics to these amazing people here so I can take down? We'll have this gentleman over here, that lovely lady in the purple there, and there's a gentleman there looking like me with glasses. Yes. Yeah, please. That guy over there. We don't have ushers, so you're going to have to help me do the ushering here.
Yeah, thank you very much. So my name is Shegun Gulano. I'm the founder at Ijebu Market. What we actually do at Ijebu Market is large-scale cultivation. Next year, we'll be integrating large-scale processing. Then we've actually already been in the supply chain space and everything. So back to the part where the universities connect to the industry. So I'll use myself as an example. So back in my final year at University of Lagos, I studied chemical engineering. So our final year project, you have the department project, and you also have your own personal research project. So then I was actually also had my prof, who was the head of Unilag Consult back then, and there was a project that I was supposed to work on. But funny enough, around that period, I met someone who was actually like a friend to my dad. The man went to do some documents for his land. So the man asked me like that, whose paper are you holding? He said, it's my son. He's trying to do his IT before he goes into his final year. So, okay, what was he studying? He said, chemical engineering. Oh, okay, and what was his grade like? He said, I think he said he's in 2-1, and I was okay, let him come to my office. So I actually met the man, and we discussed, and he told me, that project you are doing, can you work on something that I've been thinking of and everything? So that I work on, it gave me guidance and everything, and that was Nigerian potential for the production of bioethanol and electricity from sugarcane. Now, the project then, when I finished the entire project, it was actually around $11 million. And basically, it is when you have your gasoline that you put in your car, up to 20% you can blend with ethanol, which helps to increase the anti-knocking properties of your engine, and your car the engine can last better. Just like how you can mix high quality cassava flour with wheat for those things. So we went through the whole thing, and then the funniest thing was, then there was next thing that could work on that, but I was actually working with one Brazil, in fact, one of the biggest companies in the world for that in Brazil. And when I told the man that, sir, I've reached out to these people, they are asking me some questions. He said, tell them that your uncle is a friend to the governor and you want to work on it in your state. Immediately I sent that mail to them. Within, I think, less than a week, this particular Brazilian company sent me the entire full plan design. And they were also ready, like, okay, you know what, we can take care of this cost to around 40% to the Brazilian port. They will ship everything, turnkey, set it up and everything. And we fixed a particular location called Wasimi, because NNPC actually has a blending plant there to get it done. So that, which means once we have our sugarcane, this thing, then the bagasse, that is when you eat your sugarcane, what you cover is actually bagasse, which will actually power a steam boiler that will actually generate electricity for the community. So those are the kind of projects. But when you have that kind of project as a student, then you actually have to now see how do you implement that in industry. And this is a final year student working on $11 million project. So it's like, and this is talking about like years ago. And again, the person that was guiding me back then is the one that is actually behind the Lagos State hub that is at Ekpe. The same man and everything. That's Mr. S.J. Samuel of this thing, way back then. So these are the kind of things. So when you actually have students in schools and you're saying about research projects, if you don't have people in industry connecting with the students in the school to get these things done, we are joking. It is from when you probably put together maybe the problems that we have in our production, in our factories, in our small, medium, or large scale, and you bring it there, is where also the lecturers will now start looking at these things and say, okay, I think it's time for us to start adjusting some of the courses. We will not just keep writing or talking about these things, but the reality is the people, in fact, even project defense, we should have people in industry sitting there and listening to them and everything. And little by little, you can now start having some of the grants for them to start having, maybe just like how you have the Stanford Venture, this thing that actually also turned to the whole Silicon Valley thing. We can actually also have our own distributed across the country. So that is just that, just to share my own personal experience and example. But although I didn't display, but at least we have something that we're working on large scale now. But at least it's a journey, and maybe if things are better in the country or better structure, it could have been faster for us. But we're not relenting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I want to take a moment to prophesy that things are better in our country. Yes, but thank you for that. That was really powerful. I just started to think to myself, I used to eat a lot of sugar cane. I've not eaten sugar cane recently. So now that I'll be eating sugar cane, I'll be thinking about cars, which is new to my brain. But thanks so much for sharing that with us and just looking at how industries must be sitting with students. I said something interesting here that now that I work for IIF as the head of partnership and fundraiser, I think it's just an interesting time in our nation, in our continent. I must say, it's really fascinating what's happening. While I was in university, I studied in the University of Salford, Manchester, one of the social enterprising university in the world. And one of the things we did was create ICZ. It was Industry Collaboration Zone. And the three universities, in the university, we brought three schools together, which was the social science, environmental, and it was social science school, environmental and building, and the environmental science school. We called it C. And the whole idea of it was because there was a lot of converting the whole of Manchester into a smart city, because we have three universities in that city. And so we decided no more cars, it would only be bikes, walking. And they had this massive plan, and it's a huge plan in Manchester. If you know about Manchester, we had this whole plan of, we had the bomb blast that happened we raised a lot of money. Manchester decided to convert the whole thing to yellow. I'm sure the UK development is here, so they understand what I'm talking about. So I was part of this plan of working on doing this, and we brought BBC. Because of that industry collaboration, BBC moved from London to Manchester, just based on this type of collaboration. And this is exactly what we're saying about how we bring industries, partner with students to make something happen in a location, right? So imagine if we wanted to do cars better, we started to look at the sugarcane. How do we make a car industry move to Nigeria just to foster that making engines more efficient? These are the sort of the things we'll be building. Okay, we'll take two more before. Okay, we'll take the lady over there. Please, 1 minute each, right? Please, 1 minute.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Adejoke Jayoba. I'm from the University of Lagos. And I want to firstly appreciate the management, the CEO of IIF through the NIIRIC arm. You're doing a great work. And I want to say specifically that I am a beneficiary of the good work that is being done through NIIRIC. You know, it started that...
Thank you.
Thank you. You know, during my when I started my PhD, you know, I had this mind that I wouldn't allow my thesis to end up in the shelf, just like any other one. I'm going to do something about it. That was when I started looking for opportunities, you know, to get to the market there. Unfortunately for me, I met NIIRIC. I came through the NIIRIC training that was held in April, and that has really brought a lot of understanding on how to move, you know, from research into commercialization. And today, though I'm not yet there, but I know the level, the extent to which I have gone, and that is to the credit of NIIRIC. Thank you very much. So moving forward, I want to just bring in this, that NIIRIC should, with all that have been done, the publications that we have, please, you need to still move a bit to collaborate or partner with institutions, research institutions, and the universities where the researchers are. You know, because the problem is many are not aware of the technical know-how. They are not aware of how to go about the whole thing. You know, like myself, you know, it happened like that to me. I didn't know. But today, I thank God that my work, my research is speaking. Though not fully, I'm still looking for better way of bringing. But then, it has started. It has gone to a particular extent. And many are also out there. Please see how you can create more awareness. Thank God for the website. Of course, that will draw a lot of researchers into the knowledge of what you are doing. And from there, we move on. I believe it's going to be better. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Collaboration. I keep hearing this word a lot, collaboration. Thank you so much. Again, these are some of the things that we'll be working on in NIIRIC, and it's just good to hear these feedback because, trust me, if even if Mr. Kinsley does not go, I'm sure he's going to send me to go to every university and tell them about all of these things we've done. You know, I love talking. You can already see. So I'll be going to tell them and also showing them our website and some of the reports we've made to make sure that we're forming this partnership with these universities, to tell them what we're doing and where the journey we're taking them towards the commercialization of many of their research. And well done, ma'am, for what you're already doing with your research. More to come. I'll be looking out. I'll come and speak to you about what you're doing as well. I love to hear about new innovative ideas. Young man, 1 minute, and then we'll wrap up.
Good day, everyone. My name is Omotola Olaifa, co-founder at AnyWash app. And our story, as it came from a personal experience, really. We spent about 4 years in the dry cleaning business. And we began to notice, you know, a lot of unique insights in that sector. It's a sector that is largely overlooked, really. And once we began to notice these trends, I decided, you know what, I need to take this up, right? So we had this WhatsApp group where, you know, customers and laundry service providers, I'm not talking about the big guys, the, you know, Ace Clean and all of that. We're talking about the guys on the streets. And from these group interactions, how they order for, you know, dry cleaning and all of this, we began to notice some trends, right? And that was what led us to building our own app, because of course it became very cumbersome to, you know, track all these transactions on our group. So that was what led us to developing our own app, which is currently in beta testing. Now, you know, we recently graduated from Founders Institute, a Silicon Valley-based tech accelerator. And we are looking to now push our research from just these 500 people on the WhatsApp group. We're looking to expand across Nigeria and across Africa. You know, I've spoken about my plans to Dr. Peter Odi. I don't know if he remembers, but we were talking about it at the Omniverse event some months ago. So that's actually what we are trying to do to, you know, push the boundaries of this knowledge, this little knowledge that we have in this sector, expand it across Nigeria, expand it across Africa.
Thank you.
So it's a great opportunity to be here and to see, you know, the amount of work that NIIRIC is putting into this to support startups like us. And that was just what I was about.
Thank you so much. And I really appreciate seeing, I know you.
Yes.
I know you. It's interesting how we connect with each other. I know you. Well done with the work you're doing. I'll send you a video of a Chinese guy that I saw that did the same work, converted his parents' laundry and just changed the whole way that laundry is being done. There's some things we don't even know in Nigeria about materials, the type of soap to use for different materials. There's a lot of research around laundry. It's a huge market as well, because some people I say dry clean this. It comes back and I think they did not dry clean. They just washed it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they know what dry cleaning and washing. They don't know the difference. So you're doing a great work there. And I love how you just pitched yourself. So guys, if you're an investor or a fund.
Thank you.
And Mr. Audi, the guy is calling out to you as well. So let's make that connection happen. And well done with the work you're doing. Okay, guys, that's been interesting. I love the 3 people I selected that were just powerful. You know, there's an example. There was someone who's already doing research, and there's already a commercial research happening. That was magical. Did I just? Yeah, it was magical. I love that. Okay. Oh, you want to? Okay. So we'll come. You take them first. Oh, let's take you guys first. Yes. You see, after the guys that have spoken, leaders will speak. Love that. Please go ahead, sir.
Good evening, everyone. As a follow-up to what Doctor has asked, and then what the panelists said, that everyone is a stakeholder in this, I just want to pass an information about our own effort. That's the Raw Materials Research and Development Council on research commercialization. It's a program we're doing with about 37 Nigerian universities, which we have identified about 37 DEX officers. And these DEX officers are the focal persons that will pass all relevant information on their researches, and then also educate, sensitize members on research-driven, market research-driven projects for them to adopt. So I just want to state that the council, that's why we're here, because of the interest we have in bridging this gap between the academia, the OPS, as well as the market. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. It's always good to hear this amazing work. I can see that we'll take 2 more before we jump into the panel. Yeah.
In 1 minute. First of all, I'm here representing the chairman of the Research and Innovation Commercialization Committee of the Honorable Minister of Education. And there are many members here. Herself, the Queen herself, is a member of that committee. T.F. Okujagu is a member, and the great Dr. P is over there too, who facilitates this work. So we're here. This is important for us to say, to tell you that the RICC is very, very well connected to the work here. The second point I want to point out is, and I'm very excited to see the Director General of SMEDAN. I've been looking for him for the last 3 years, and since even before he was appointed. You see, researchers and industry are not aligning their values because researchers has very specific track. University and research institutes do research for promotion. They don't care whether you commercialize or you get money. That promotion to become a PhD holder and a professor is very important. But whereas on the other side, investors and industrialists think they will wait for this interest to satisfy them. That will not work. So somehow we're working with NIIRIC to ensure that we must have a filtration process. First, to see the layer that actually have the investors and the researchers aligned. So when you have a cycle of research, there's only a tiny little component of it that is actually connected to industrialists and so on. That spot needs to be identified. Second, you see, when you say private sector or business, somehow I feel like my mother is not involved, because my mother knows how to extract oil out of groundnuts, very complex chemical process. She knows how to fry kuli kuli. She can make puff puff. She can smoke fish. She can cut pomo into. This is an industrialized woman, but she's not factored into this research and industry connection. And these are in the majority of this country. So somehow researchers and industrialists must realize that this sector is actually what is going to ramp up Nigeria. If my mother calls her sister to come and help her because she has too much raw material, that is a job created, and that is gainful. This has to be the work of NIIRIC. Finally, I think a lot of people are talking about NOTAB. I was Director General of NOTAB for many years. And people misunderstand the role of NOTAB. Is not necessarily an IP awarding institution. No. All the IP awarding institutions are out of NOTAB. The patent office is in the investment ministry, the trademark office in the ministry, and so on. Copyright is in the Ministry of Justice. NOTAB literally is the police sitting at the gate of foreign technology entry into Nigeria. So when you police very well, you will now direct the agreements for investment into this country. You should say to big-time companies that are making this water, now we know how to blow plastic. Now we know how to filter water. So don't come into our country trying to invest to make water. This is taking jobs for Nigeria away. This is what NOTAB is. Now, for that to happen, you must have a very corruption-free system. Otherwise, I've been taken to the villa many times with hammers on my head to say that, why did you stop issuance of certificate to this company? I say, well, they don't conform to our own policing, and then I get slapped and hammered and everything. This is important to understand. But the most important thing, particularly for SMEDAN, is that NOTAB also comes technology from other intellectual property offices. When you go to the UK patent office, you will see thousands of patents that are in what we call public domain. They are free now. If you have the skills to practice it, how to do laundry, how to make soap, how to make pomade, and so on and so forth. NOTAB helps you to extract these patents and hand over to SMEDAN or any institution to say, hey, this is where you can be able to make startups and so on and so forth. So certainly there's a lot of discussion we're doing with NIIRIC, and therefore the scope for partnership, which they are demonstrating that is working, is huge. Congratulations, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. So much wisdom there. See why I have to come next time wearing that hat with the scarf. So much wisdom there. I truly, truly appreciate that, sir. I just saw so much happening there. Oh, my mind. God help me. God help me on the development of Africa's economy. Okay. This has all happened because of an amazing, young, powerful gentleman that we have at IIF. And I'll be bringing him up now to give us a presentation on what the NIIRIC program entails, because some of us in here might not know what NIIRIC is about. The activities and the achievement that we've achieved in the year 2025. And after that, he will be taking us on a panel discussion on how do we scale NIIRIC's impact, because we're hearing a lot of that thought now, and the priorities for what we see in 2026 based on many of these things we've discussed and even some of the things that he has in mind and the vision that he has in mind. Let's put our hands together as we call up one of the doctors, Dr. Kingsley Godwin, who is NIIRIC's program manager, media and communication team. Put your hands together for him. Great man. Great man.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much. I want to say a very big thank you, Austin, for moderating so excellently so far. This was a job I used to do. Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to say a very big thank you to my CEO for giving me the opportunity to lead and drive NIIRIC at this level. Thank you so much, Ma. I would like to say a big thank you to all the partners. We just have a video which we are going to play that is going to give a summary of some of the things that we have done in the year 2025, and then I'll just list a little bit of that. And then we are planning to close by 8, so we are already right on time with our time. So please, we kindly crave your indulgence to be patient. By 8, we'll close up and go for the meal. Thank you.
The year 2025 has been a remarkable year for the Nigeria Impact Investing Research Industry Collaborative, NIIRIC. This video brings to you the highlights, milestones, and accomplishments of NIIRIC in the year 2025. Membership growth. NIIRIC grew from 35 at the end of December 2024 to 138 as of November 2025, being a 294% growth rate. Partnerships and collaboration. We partnered with Omniverse in hosting the Omniverse Research Exchange. We signed a landmark MOU with Southwest Innovation Technology Limited to co-host a research and commercialization program and deploy a $250,000 fund to 10 research and innovation ready for commercialization with Tree of Innovation, Science and Technology to facilitate the 2 cohorts Global Clean Tech Innovation Program training of trainers and Entrepreneurship and Capacity Building Program on research commercialization for 52 lecturers from selected Nigerian universities. We deepened collaboration with key government agencies, including the National Office for Technology Transfer and Promotion, the Raw Materials Research and Development Council, Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria, aligning on shared goals and securing their active participation in our research to commercialization drive. Capacity building. NIIRIC didn't just gather people, we empowered them. In April 2025, we trained 80 researchers and innovators, equipping them with practical skills to transform their ideas into market-ready solutions. Policy dialogues. We successfully convened 2 high-level policy dialogues, unlocking pension and insurance funds for private equity and venture capital in Nigeria, and Nigeria's new tax policy, exploring opportunities for impact investors and positioning Nigeria as a hub for impact-driven investments. These held in June and September 2025. These dialogues deepen stakeholders' understanding of emerging policy opportunities and strengthen stakeholders' commitment to advancing a more enabling environment for impact investing in Nigeria. Industry brief sessions. We successfully convened 2 brief industry sessions that showcased cutting-edge research and market-ready innovations. The first session, held in May 2025, featured Dr. Charlotte Indiribe, senior lecturer at the University of Lagos and founder of ECOWAC, who presented on using AI in robotics to develop smart and efficient waste management technologies. The second session, held in June 2025, highlighted the work of Maureen Obialo, researcher and CEO of Purple Cow Foods, on addressing malnutrition with innovative cassava-based noodles. Together, these sessions amplified visibility for emerging innovators, strengthened industry-academia linkages, and inspired conversations on scalable solutions for Nigeria's environmental and nutritional challenges. Research, reports, and policy briefs. Knowledge is power, and in 2025, NIIRIC delivered at scale. We successfully published 6 flagship reports and toolkits for the impact investing, research and innovation ecosystem, including the NIIRIC Shareholder Mapping Report, Nigerian Impact Investing Landscape Study, Policy Pathways on Impact Investing Reports, Research and Innovation Industry Brief for the Agriculture and Food Processing, Energy and Environment, and health sectors. Advancing Institutional Collaboration for Impact Investing in Nigeria report, and the Lab to Market Research to Commercialization Toolkit, the first edition. Collectively, these publications will provide policymakers and investors with credible insights to make informed decisions and provide researchers and innovators with practical guidance for navigating the commercialization pathway. Policy advocacy. Above all, NIIRIC led the movement to mainstream impact investing in Nigeria. We coordinated the development of the draft national policy framework on impact investing, Nigeria's first ever. In October, we convened a landmark high-level stakeholders policy consultation with government ministries, agencies, the private sector, and the presidency. These efforts produced a holistic stakeholders communique endorsing the recognition of impact investing as a strategic investment approach and the formation of a technical working group, marking a significant milestone in advancing a coordinated national impact investing agenda and paving the way for a national impact investing architecture. The year 2025 has been a phenomenal year, a year where we began the journey to transform research into impact, innovation into industry, and ideas into national prosperity. As we look ahead, NIIRIC stands together, more united and more committed to shaping Nigeria's future. Here's to the innovators, the researchers, the policymakers, the partners, and the community driving this transformation. Together, we are building the Nigeria of tomorrow, one innovation at a time. This is NIIRIC. This is impact. This is the future.
Thank you very much. Again, we want to say a very big thank you to, first of all, the NIIRIC Steering Committee. Thank you so much, all the members of the NIIRIC Steering Committee who are seated here today. I also want to say a very big thank you to all the consultants who we worked together with, and then, of course, to our funders. Thank you so much to the British High Commission, FCDO, and the RISA Fund for the funding and support that we've received to make this all possible. Just as has been highlighted in the video reports, the reports that we launched here today is just some of the outputs we have. We have 2 more reports which we are not able to launch today, but which we are still going to conclude on. We have the Advancing Institutional Collaboration for the Impact Investing Ecosystem. We've just concluded the first draft, and we're going to send that to our stakeholders to review that. And then also we have the Research and Innovation Industry Brief that covers the manufacturing, the information, and the ecosystem, three other key industry sectors that we are doing that report on. And then also we had this Nigerian Impact Investing Landscape Study, which we already launched at the Impact Investors Foundation annual convening on impact investing, which held just a couple of weeks ago. So we already did the launch, so that is why we didn't do the launch of this year today, but this is one of the work which we did this year at NIIRIC. And then also we have developed a communique after the high-level stakeholders consultation for impact investing in Nigeria. And we're working with all the key ministries, the Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology, the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, the Federal Ministry of Finance, and the Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning. We are going to be doing a policy advocacy, and of course with the technical working group that was established to have the presidency to release the mandate for recognizing impact investing as an investment strategy in Nigeria. Thank you very much for listening. Quickly, we will go to a very quick, very quick, short panel session just to quickly, very quickly talk about what are we looking at for NIIRIC in the year 2026. To join me on the table is members of the NIIRIC Steering Committee. We have first on the table, on the panel session, will join us Dr. Adewumi Olayinka, who is the Director of Innovation Technology Management Office at the University of Lagos. Please, let's give her a round of applause. Thank you so much, Ma, for all the amazing work you did with us, reviewing all the reports that we did. Thank you so much for your input. And then also we have the Executive Director of LEAP Africa, Ms. Kende Ayeni. Please, let's give her a round of applause as she joins us. And then also we have the Director of Research and Policy Advocacy at the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Dr. Sonny Michael Mezia. Please, let's give them a round of applause as they come to the high table. Thank you, sir. It's going to be a very quick one, I promise. I will start with Dr. Adewumi Olayinka. Mark, can you tell us, you've seen what we have done as NIIRIC this year as the lead for research and data analysis at the NIIRIC Steering Committee. What do you see from this research output? What's the way forward? And what do you see for NIIRIC for the year 2026?
I think beyond what I've seen is actually the conversations that happened here tonight, because there were a lot of ideas, a lot of suggestions, and one key thing stood out for me. I think it was Mr. Osaritin that said, see each other, embrace each other, then work together. So from the research commercialization perspective, there's a huge pipeline gap in the fact that we within university institutions work within those walls. And we have industry that has pinpoints. We have the nano, micro, small, medium businesses that have challenges that research could respond to that we may not even be aware of. So how can we see each other? How can we embrace each other and begin to work together? So we need a room like this, possibly, where it will be, people that have the challenges, researchers that can respond to those challenges, sitting together and talking about those things to push it forward. I have so many things to say, but I'm looking at your face, and the more I'm looking at it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Kenda. Please, just quickly tell us, scaling NIIRIC's impact for 2026. What are your thoughts?
To be very fair, you have done so much work already. In 2 years, you have achieved quite a lot. And so I will start with kudos to you before even recommending anything.
Thank you.
And the leaders in the room have also said quite a number of things I would have proposed to NIIRIC. And so maybe one or two things I might say might be low-hanging fruits. I think many of the people in the room said the opportunity area is in the university and the students. But my low-hanging fruit are social innovators, social entrepreneurs. These are people already in the market. These are people that cannot afford research. These are people that actually need the information that NIIRIC, through so many work that you're doing, actually need it right away. You don't need to persuade them. So that's one low-hanging fruit that I think you have to engage in the process. You have to disseminate to and expand your community to reach them, which also means leveraging partnership. Who are the people working with SI and SEs? They must be a part of your community. Another thing that we can do at NIIRIC is changing narratives. So many people in this room have said research is on the shelf, research is on the shelf, research on the shelf. But what research is working? Which of all the research that we've documented is actually working? And can we push that narrative out? Can we share that with the broader ecosystem? Can we allow that to be the narrative that is louder than the fact that research is, 95% of research is on the shelf? That's another one. One more thing before I hand over to you would be, there's a skills gap. Research is very technical. And in Nigeria, as far as I've seen right now, the kind of research we are producing is still lacking. I apologize if it's offensive, but it's lacking in the sense that when you compare it against other products I've seen in other environments, it's very different. It's the presentation, the markers are different. The things that would drive it and help sell it, very different. So as we think about capacity building, I'll say one more.
Do you have some examples of what makes those difference?
Absolutely. What can help would be maybe to share those after and see and compare. And then lastly, so to land that point, skills training on how to actually write a research product that people can understand, that will help shape narrative. It's very, very important. And lastly, I would say for now is case studies. When when you look at Rwanda and celebrate the success of Rwanda, what has worked in Rwanda is research and innovation. And so, for NIIRIC, you've got to have your own benchmark for Nigeria. What is it?
Wow. Please, can we give another round of applause? Amazing. I like that. I like the way that ended. For NIIRIC, you have to have your own benchmark for Nigeria. What is it? It's a food for thought. Thank you very much, Ms. Kende. Dr. Sonny, please, could you just share with us an insight into 2026? As a member of the steering committee, what are you seeing for our work on policy advocacy? You are the lead for policy advocacy for the NIIRIC steering committee. What are your thoughts? What do you see for 2026?
All right. Good evening, everyone. Again, want to congratulate IIF NIIRIC for the work done so far. The policy framework environment in Nigeria is still quite fragmented. Recently, we had the national framework for carbon markets operation, for instance. If you're going to the side of impact investing first, and with that policy, it's expected to create some activities in that ecosystem. Then you come down to the state level. Just yesterday, I attended an event organized by Lagos State Ministry of the Environment, LASEPA supervising, and that is about Lagos State greenhouse gas registry. And we're asking there, now you have this framework at the state level. Then NIIRIC will also come with its federal level. So which one are we going to obey if you're operating in Lagos State? So I am looking at NIIRIC, working with IIF to take that challenge, do a proper mapping of the policy framework that we have as it is. We have ministries that are duplicating, maybe that we think are duplicating efforts. We have overlapping mandates. Can we streamline this? So somebody just talked about, my co-panel just talked about benchmark. So I'm telling us again that NIIRIC should go ahead and have something like a kind of a framework of what it is, and use that to then begin to advocate. Say, look, government, this is what we think we need to be able to have a good ecosystem on impact investing. And on the side of research commercialization, very quickly, recently the federal government through TED Fund gave about 4.2 billion naira to about 158 projects. And those are projects from research to commercialization now. So those are success stories to tell. Now, what kind of projects are these? Going through them, I saw a lot of them on tech side, health side, and food. These are areas that tell the stories of our problems in Nigeria. So we need those policies that are attacking the problems that we face. They should be tech driven. They should have problem solving facility that we say, oh, this is coming to solve this problem. So we should do some work to know these projects that are being financed by this federal government, what are they? And then begin to tell their success stories too. We're talking about the L2C toolkit. And I said that as many people that have used that, have interacted with that toolkit, should tell a story, and we start to, amplify those voices. So I think, like I said, we need to do a proper mapping. Let's know what it is and what we think will work for our country. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sonny. Please, let's give me a round of applause. Ms. Kende, I come back to you quickly on the ecosystem. How do we strengthen the ecosystem? How do we collaborate more in 2026? How do we foster more partnership between researchers, innovators, and the industry? How do we do that? Yes, Dr. Adewumi, yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear Adewumi, so I
was
was
sorry
wondering.
about that.
Okay. For me, I think that we are speaking different languages right now, and we have a very large population of young people that possibly are not in the room hearing some of the things that we are saying. For example, I heard what Madam said there about final year students. So when we are talking collaboration with industry, the first is, what industry are we talking about? Because when we say industry, when a researcher hears that, what does that mean? When a student hears that, what does that mean? Who actually is within that scope of industry? Prof was also mentioning that about his mom, that actually can do some certain things that are actually very skilled, that can actually grow the economy. So for me, I feel even the definition of industry is different languages for different people. The DG of Smedan also mentioned that a large population of what we have as industry are nano and micro. And now the point is to push it to small and medium, then before they become large enterprises. Now, how does research fit into that? Can research answer the question of moving nano and micro businesses? If there are challenges that are actually making them not to move, that research can answer. How do we, within the university community, even know about that? Who supplies us with that information? Where do we get that from? So if we want to say collaboration, we can only collaborate when we are speaking languages that we can understand. So I think, first of all, the issue of the definition of things, that I think NIIRIC, from the work that has been done, is giving us a language that we can speak. So if we say nano micro businesses, what falls within that? What are the challenges? If we say small and medium enterprises and businesses, for me as a researcher, do I even know what that even means? For me to be able to solve that problem, it's going to be a language problem. So to strengthen collaboration, I think NIIRIC can actually solve this problem of us understanding ourselves, so that when one person says something, I know that I'm going to provide the solution, understand that this is what this person needs, and that will help us strengthen collaboration and also the ecosystem and the players.
Awesome, awesome. Wow, thank you so much, Mo. And then Mrs. Kende, back to you, Mo. How can NIIRIC increase its visibility and its adoption, of course, especially of all these practical guidelines and toolkits which we have released? How do you think we can increase the ecosystem, taking advantage of these resource materials, and what are the opportunities that exist for members of the NIIRIC General Assembly? You are the lead for engagements and membership at NIIRIC Steering Committee. What are the opportunities that exist for everyone that is in this room today that's a member of the NIIRIC General Assembly? How do you think they can take advantage of the NIIRIC ecosystem, the NIIRIC platform that is building, to strengthen the work that they're doing also, and to further collaborate with NIIRIC to achieve greater impact?
I appreciate the call out, Kingsley. I will take the second point last. The first one is going to be a bit different. If we want to change the way and manner that we are disseminating or engaging or whatever it is, that is our status quo, we want to, I think I'll leverage on our point, expand the main ecosystems to include the creative sector, to include those who are in the creative industries. Those people can tell better stories. Those people can sell up anything. Those people can integrate the main issue into anything you can think of. That's whether right. It's music, movies, skits, whatever it is, and you will be surprised at how far it's going to go and how well it's going to take up as we are looking for higher, adoption. So I think we can attempt to look at the creative sector to that and bring in a new stream of ecosystem totally away from, the usual suspects that we have right now, being the academia and the rest of us. For your second question, I think that already what we are doing at NIIRIC is a lot. There's a lot of engagement of all the steering members right now. And for those who are coming, I do not know for a fact, you can excuse me, if they've been attached to a subcommittee. So whatever is available in the room would be that for every member that is coming, let them be a part of a subcommittee. There is better ownership at that level. Co-ownership, that would be, and I think they will understand it better. They will even rise up to the occasion. I can imagine how much you chase us to review those policies before it really goes out. And we can't really do that, the main members now. But if you have more volunteers from that, stream of new members, I think our work will go farther.
Awesome, amazing, wow. So this is a call out for members of the NIIRIC General Assembly that are in the room here tonight. We're inviting you to join the subcommittees for NIIRIC, and we will, of course, expand more on that as we enter into 26 here. That is one area we are going to strengthen in 2026. We're going to get some of you to become a part of the work that NIIRIC is doing. Some of you are already doing that, but we need you to do that more so that we can expand the impact that we're making. Because of time, in fact, I'll just allow Dr. Sonny Michael, just give us your last thought on NIIRIC's work for 2026.
All right. So, again, I think NIIRIC has done so well, but we are looking at doing something better. And I will say we need to continue this engagement philosophy that we have. So, you want to advocate with a policy, you have to involve the implementers in the design, from the conceptualization process. Don't finish everything and now call them and say, come, we want to talk about it. No, but let them be part of it so we can own it together. I think that you have done very well. But if you want to scale, for instance, you want to go into something like, has to do with, for example, I'm just making an example to say, we want to scale our advocacy to say, we want to start creating green bonds, for instance, or issuing green bonds, for instance. I'm talking more on the impact investing side. Are we collaborating with the stock exchange, the Securities and Exchange Commission and all of that? I've not seen them in most of our, maybe they could be the new partners that we should be looking at. So like I said, we've done it well, and I think we can do it better, making sure that we involve the stakeholders right from the beginning, and then we own it together to the top. Thanks.
Thank you very much, sir. One final point from you, Ms. Kendi. Yes, just the final thoughts. Okay. Yes, we already said so much already. Okay, Dr. Adewumi, a final thought from you.
Final thought is that in 2026, we want a room of no longer, like you said, research is sitting on the shelf. The researchers themselves don't want their research to be on the shelf. But the issue is that it will be on the shelf if we are not solving real problems. So we need to have those real problems so that it won't be on the shelf if we get to where it is needed.
Thank you very much. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a round of applause. Thank you for all those amazing insights. At this point, we'll just do a group picture with the CEO, and after that, the MC will take over. Please give them a round of applause one more time as we make welcome the CEO to join us.
Okay. Amazing. I think I've learned a lot today. How many of us have learned so much today? How many of us are going to be joining the NIIRIC subcommittee? That hand was different to the ones that I learned. Okay, I can see those that I see a very tall hand there. My own hand is the tallest because I'm already in there. Okay, but please, let's make sure that we don't just leave here today with just being part of just listening. You know, there's something I always say to a group of young people that I always mentor that are into tech, because I just love technology. And I always say to them, I say, you must make sure that advocacy becomes engagement, but don't stop there, because whenever we're doing advocacy in Nigeria, there's just a lot of us that show up. Right? And then when it gets to engagement, you then see if there was 100 people, there will be one. And they'll be like, but all of us were complaining together. We're all saying how the thing was a problem. Now it's only one of you. And then by the time we try to get to intelligence, which is, you know, I tell them as tech people, by the time we get to the intelligence part, there's nobody. because, and I think that's some of the things we're speaking about here that I just heard in this panel about not speaking the same language, because there's advocacy about the problem. By the time we get to the engagement, it doesn't become intelligence. And yeah, I'm really excited for the exciting things that we've done today. So we did keep to time, and we've reached the end of today's session. Let's put our hands together for ourselves. We did very well. You all are a very strong crowd. Very strong crowd. Really loving this. So just to move to the final session, are we doing this photo session? Are we taking photos now? We taking photos? Yeah? Okay. All right. So after that, we'll take photos. So please, if you're part of the FCDO, Resale Fund, NIIRIC Steering Committee, RIC members, key partners, all of you will take photos after we hear the closing remark, the vote of thanks from, I like to talk about how awesome she is. She would say I shouldn't do that. Just so awesome, my CEO. So awesome. Please, let's put our hands together for Lady Etemore Glover, CEO, Impact Investor Foundation. Look how lovely she's looking.
You know that I can fire you if I'm... But I don't have the power. Okay. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's not always the tradition for big men and women to stay till the end of, events. But we are really humbled to see all of you here who we believe can walk this journey with us and can influence a change. All of you are still here. So please, can you help me give them a round of applause? Thank you. I'm saying this because we are not taking your presence for granted, and a change can only be made when you have the right people in the room to speak to think with, to be part of the transformation. So thank you very much. Today has been a very long day, a long evening, I should say, that started with openings from our guests, from Mr. Simon Field, the Deputy Head of Mission, British Deputy High Commission, Ms. Anna Amawo Iruve, representing the Honorable Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Professor Binder, former DG NOTAP, and also the member of the Research, Innovation, Commercialization Committee, Mr. Charles Odi, the DG SMEDAN, Ms. Ada Ola Dunke, Director at, she's representing the DG NOTAP, Mr. Mohamed Yaro, Director, Investment Promotion and Consultancy, representing the DG RDC. And friends, members of the NIIRIC committee, the steering committee, the chair of NIIRIC, guests, member of the National Advisory Board for Impact Investment, representing the chair, Mrs. Ibukun Awoshika. I want to say thank you for the deliberations. I think some of the things that we want to assure you that we will achieve from today's conversation, from my notes and what I will take away and strengthen going forward, is the collaboration. We must collaborate. We must help the ecosystem collaborate better and more efficiently. We must also have KPIs in collaborations, measure how collaboration is done, report learnings. Also, we must look at some of the outputs that came out from the reports that we've launched today. We're going to change the narrative that research will not be just sitting in shells, but research will transform the market. Research will inform better allocation of resources, and ultimately, research will transform Nigeria to becoming a knowledge-based economy. The outputs, like the R2C, the Research to Commercialization Toolkit, will address the valley of death that we see. I'm happy to hear that the 73 recommendations that we got from stakeholders like yourself who were gathered at the workshop were incorporated into the toolkit, which means is market ready. But we cannot just trust that alone. We will work with the NIIRIC committee to ensure that we drive it through technology, creating a platform and ensuring that we test it through collaboration with technical TTOs across the universities in Nigeria. And that pilot we intend to do next year. And I'm going to make that commitment on behalf of that committee of NIIRIC. Let's do that. Let's ensure that we are testing research to commercialization, through which we will strengthen the pathway for R2C in Nigeria. We had a lot of questions around what next, and this should answer what next is for us. Still driving on what's next for NIIRIC is we must address the pipeline gap that was mentioned. We must ensure that businesses meet researchers and ensure that there's a pathway to close the gap for research and the transformative power that research output can do towards transforming our industries. We are going to scale NIIRIC's impact in 2026 by focusing on low-hanging fruits, by expanding collaboration to cover young people, the creative industry, the capital market, security exchange, regulators like PENCAM. We also want to extend this to pension fund administrators because we believe that the largest pots of money sits in pension funds. Pension funds is not contributing towards the development of the real sector. But we must create vehicles. We must create opportunities that pension funds can support the growth of the real sector and support research to commercialization. We heard here today a case study of Rwanda. Research and innovation is the driving force for the transformation of Rwanda. And the charge to NIIRIC is we must define what success is for Nigeria when it comes to research to innovation commercialization. But that's not possible without getting the right stakeholders in the room to help us define what success looks like for us. We have the Research Innovation Commercialization Committee set up by the Ministry of Education and a TED Fund project. How do you work with yourself to chart a pathway for what research to commercialization is for Nigeria? Where will we be in 5 years from now? Where will we be as a country 10 years from now? That vision must be graphic, and that vision must be painted from now with a clear roadmap of what we need to do to get there. Who must be involved in the process? And I would like to reiterate that collaboration is very key. That's why we have partners like the FCDU here. We want to thank you. This is just the beginning. And if we are to continue in this relationship, we would also like you to invite partners to join you in mobilizing technical assistance to support the market. Herein lies sustainability. Because I can tell you for a fact that many interventions do not build in the sustainability arm or structure to ensure that your innovation, your intervention is long-lasting. But with partners like you, I want to say that we've come this far. They didn't restrict us. They allowed us to go to the market, test what the market is saying, innovate with the market. These are the kind of partners we want for Nigeria. These are the kind of partners that can help us reach development. Thank you very much. I want to assure you that we're going to change the narrative for NIIRIC. but the ownership has got to be joint. I want to charge the steering committee for NIIRIC. I want to charge the General Assembly to come together. The charge is to restructure NIIRIC, to do more. We've done this and we're celebrating, but there's much to be done. We need to leverage your skills, your competencies, because there are plenty, to help us with the manager build a structure, a more formidable structure to support the growth and the future of NIIRIC. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand here on behalf of the board of the Impact Investors Foundation, the National Advisory Board for Impact Investment, the program manager, the staff of the Impact Investors Foundation to say thank you, and it's party time. Thank you.
So I told you guys, I have the best CEO. She's not going to fire me, so don't think of that, yeah? But it's time to take some picture and then party, right? So we'll have every person from FCDO, let me just have my notes here. FCDO, Resale Fund, NIIRIC Steering Committee, RIC members, and the key partners, if we can all come and take a photo before we close today. This has been an awesome time together, each and every one of you guys. It's been so much fun. So let's put our hands together for ourselves, and we'll just have some of the leaders, please, if you don't mind, just coming forward here. Let's take a photo. Okay. Looks like you guys are not hungry. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. So if we don't mind, just standing up, and let's take this photo. We'll have, should I just name everybody again? Mr. Simon Field, Miss Anna. General group picture. Okay, so everybody. It's literally everybody taking a photo. Okay, please. Everyone in the room. Just, yeah, everyone in the room. I think. Okay. Everyone in the room, if we can just step forward for a photo, and then we can all just go and enjoy some food. I'm starving. You're hungry too? Yes, I knew it. I knew everybody was hungry because I can see how everybody's moving. Come on, guys, everybody, even the volunteers. All the staff members of IIF. Ife, I see you there, we're waiting. Lady Ucha, we're waiting. Number 1, ESO leader. ESO collaborative leader. Okay. Yes, let's come together. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Everybody's looking gorgeous. Let me move this. I don't think I can carry this. Aha. Amazing. Thank you. Okay, is everybody in the picture? Birthday girl, Pamela. Hi. Amazing. This is one of the best photos. Okay, okay. More seats. Aha. Okay. I'm going to join my Oga here. Yes. Yes. Sorry, we have to put some of you. Let me put this here. Please, let me stay at the back so I don't block all these. dinner is served. Please go eat as much as you can. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Yes, let's network, eat some food. Yes, enjoy yourself. Make sure you are consuming some food while you are gisting. And we'll see you in the next IIF gathering. God bless you all. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.